Garage floor won't chip, crack, show tire lift like epoxy or paint ever. And here's the Comer and Cross difference. We make it so easy. We move your stuff out for you. We fix the cracks and pits perfectly. And one day, you'll love your new Comer and Cross garage floor or basement floor, guaranteed. Call us right now for your quick and easy quote and details on $1,000 off during our winter sale. Even our number's easy. 1-800-NEW-FLOOR. That's 1-800-NEW-FLOOR. Or go to COMERcross.com.
Attention. If you suffer from consistent pain in your joints caused by arthritis, overuse, or injury, you may be a candidate for a revolutionary therapy that could revitalize damaged tissue. This approach can provide long-lasting relief from pain in your knees, shoulders, hips, and other joints with no surgery, no drugs, and no downtime. To find out if you're a viable candidate, you may request a free consultation from QC Kinetics by calling 463-251-1912. Instead of masking the symptoms, it goes to the root of the problem to resolve it at its source. Already used by thousands of satisfied patients nationwide, this joint pain therapy is available right now to the public, but only for qualified candidates. Again, to find out if you're a viable candidate for this therapy, you may request a free consultation by calling QC Kinetics at 463-251-1912. That's 463-251-1912.
Why not start 2025 with a great new deal from Tom Roush Lincoln? Select 2024 Lincoln Navigators, now $12,000 off and get 0% for 60 months. How about an all-new 2024 Lincoln Nautilus, now $6,000 off with rates starting at 4.9% for 60 months. So start the new year with a new car from Tom Roush Lincoln in Fishers.
Lincoln Navigator MSRP 104,200. Lincoln Nautilus MSRP 61,695. Offers good through January 31st, 2025. Subject to credit approval. See dealer for complete offer details.
Christmas has come and gone. You got some great gifts, and now you're realizing you've got new firearms, and you may not need all those old firearms. Now is the time to talk to Premier Arms in Brownsburg. Check out the buy room and find out how much you can get for your used firearms. They're the best at giving top dollar for your used firearms. Talk to Premier Arms today. 3754 South Green Street in Brownsburg. 317-858-3030 and online at premierarms.com.
One of the real advantages that we have here at Hendricks is the scope of the services that we have to offer in orthopedics.
Whether they have a hip fracture or they're a high-functioning athlete, we're all working towards the same thing.
To have them be able to have an elective surgery safely and then go home also in a safe fashion is of utmost importance.
We very much want everyone to get back to doing everything that they were doing beforehand. We're really invested in it.
Unstoppable orthopedic care. Learn more at hendricks.org/ortho.
IT professionals, don't choose the wrong recycler. Choose Technology Recyclers for complete guaranteed data destruction. Why put your data at risk? You work too hard to experience a data loss by selecting the wrong recycler. Visit tech-recyclers.com.
Trust our family to take care of your family. Call us today for our family maintenance plan at 317-577-8077.
Family Heating and Air is your trusted local independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
Coming up in 2 minutes, Indiana will have a new governor sworn in today, plus where IMPD says they stood off with a man and how the situation unfortunately ended. And the Indiana Pacers come from behind to keep the heat on their season. I'm Kirk Darling. That and more coming up from the Technology Recycler Studios after Fox News. You're listening to 93 WYBC, WYBC HD1 Indianapolis. It's 9 o'clock.
More homes could burn down in the Los Angeles area. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News.
It's real. We didn't think this could ever happen to us.
Vicki Collison lost everything. Tells Fox for all the others in wildfire danger.
Have the boxes with the evacuation items like pictures and family heirlooms.
And this is not what LA needs.
We have wind gusts in excess of 50, even 70 miles per hour coming later this afternoon, tonight, and into tomorrow. That's going to be a huge concern.
Fox meteorologist Anna Steen, wind could whip up the flames and spread 3 wildfires, still burning even more. 2 of them are barely contained.
The death toll at least 24. Tragically, that's expected to rise. But here along Malibu, you can see structure after structure, homes, businesses for miles of the iconic Pacific Coast Highway in Malibu simply gone. Nothing but a charred, burned out, destroyed landscape.
There's progress reported in talks trying to work out a ceasefire in Gaza between Israel and Hamas. President Biden talked to Israel's prime minister yesterday. He also talked to the relatives of 3 Americans detained in Afghanistan who might be freed in a prisoner swap being negotiated with the Taliban, though she's more encouraged by what the incoming Trump National Security Advisor told her than her brief call with President Biden.
I absolutely believe they will bring Ryan home.
Anna Corbett's husband's been held by the Taliban for 886 days, and she tells Fox,
His conditions are not livable. He is physically declining. He told me on a call that I would not recognize him.
the deal would swap Corbett and 2 others for a terror suspect the U.S. has imprisoned at Guantanamo. 3 police officers shot early this morning in Washington, D.C.
Thankfully, all of our officers are in stable condition. They're talking, and we're so grateful that they survived this.
D.C. Police Chief Pamela Smith. The same cannot be said for the gunman who opened fire on them. The officer shot back, and he's dead. America's listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
From one to the next, radar is clear. It's sunny and 17 degrees downtown. I'm Kurt Darling. Here's what's trending at 9:02. Governor-elect Mike Braun will soon be Governor Mike Braun. He'll take the oath of office in a couple hours at the State House here in Indianapolis.
And I don't mind wrestling on any issue. I've done it on a much larger stage over the last 6 years.
He'll be the 52nd governor in Indiana's history. Micah Beckwith will also be sworn in as lieutenant governor, and Todd Rokita again as attorney general. A woman shot to death on the northeast side early this morning. IMPD officer William Young says she was being held at gunpoint by a man that they were in a standoff with near Fall Creek and Shadeland.
We are not looking for anybody else. We do not believe there's any other suspects. We believe this to be a domestic-related incident. This is an isolated incident.
Another person was hurt and taken to the hospital. $25,000 is now the reward being put forth by U.S. Marshals for information leading to the arrest of a former Madison County councilman. Stephen Sumner is on the lam and is accused of rape, child seduction, and possession of child porn. Murder is the charge against a man in St. Joseph County accused of stabbing his stepfather to death. Sasha Nixon reports.
Lee Alexis was recently stabbed at the Castle Point Apartments complex. He was taken to the hospital, but he did not survive. Police believe Alexis and his stepson, Corey Young Jr., had gotten into an argument after Alexis told his stepson that he needed to be more respectful. Eventually, the fight became physical, with the two going into the main bathroom. There, Young likely stabbed Alexis in the chest. Sasha Nixon, 93, WIBC Mobile News.
Well, the hottest team in the NBA appears to be the Indiana Pacers. They have won 6 games in a row after coming from behind to beat the Cleveland Cavaliers on the road Sunday, 108-93. That even with Tyrese Halliburton having to leave the game with an injury.
Our calling card has got to be our aggression and our depth. In the second half, we played the way we needed to play to be competitive in a game like this.
Head coach Rick Carlisle, they have the Cavs again tomorrow night. Traffic on the 5s, Matt Bear.
All right, Kurt, eastbound 70 crash in the south split, blocking the right shoulder, causing stop-and-go traffic to West Street. And then your delay continues as you move northbound 6570 past the Washington Street exit. That's a stall at Michigan Street, blocking the right lane, causing that stop-and-go traffic. Traffic sponsored by Rapid Radios. Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage. For a limited time, go to rapidradios.com now for 60% off and free UPS shipping. Add code RADIO and get an extra 5% off. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Someone had a birthday.
Yep, 50. Can't believe it.
50 years of wisdom.
Great segue. We have health news, a CDC update.
Pneumococcal vaccination is now recommended for adults 50 or older. Says here, we're over 6 times more likely to be hospitalized with pneumococcal pneumonia than adults under 50.
I don't love those odds.
Same. Look what I found. Pfizer's Prevnar 20 is proven to help protect adults against pneumococcal pneumonia and invasive pneumococcal disease in just 1 dose. And millions have already gotten it.
Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you have a severe allergy to its ingredients. A weakened immune system may lower your response. Common side effects include injection site pain and swelling, fatigue, headache, muscle, and joint pain. For full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138. Visit Prevnar20.com or talk to your doctor or pharmacist.
I'm on Prevnar20.com now, scheduling my appointment.
Good idea. And happy 50th.
This hour on 93 WIBC, powered by Family Heating and Air. Nobody cares for you like family. Your American Standard Air dealer.
The forecast from the American Standard Heating Weather Center.
Partly cloudy skies as we go through your Monday with cold temperatures, a high of 22, wind chills into the single digits. Tonight, mostly cloudy and cold, a low of 8. I'm Wish TV Storm Tracking meteorologist Marcus Bailey for 93 WIBC.
18 degrees and sunny downtown. I'm Kirk Darling on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
You're listening to Rob Kendall.
When we talk about sending money somewhere, we're talking about printing the money because we have no money.
And Casey Daniels.
My government would never lie to me, would they?
On 93 WIBC.
All right, calm down, Casey.
Yeah.
Just calm down. We will get to how much bronze bar tab actually was here in just a moment.
Okay.
But first, we've got a moral dilemma that we have had an intense debate about the last probably 10 minutes in the studio.
Yeah.
And we need our audience to settle what the correct course of action is here.
Okay.
It's Kendall Casey Show. I'm Rob. That's Casey. Producer Carl, Tony's very fabulous producer, joins us now. All right, Carl. So you're sitting there. You are the. What time do you get here on?
I get here 10 till 5 in the morning.
10 till 5. I didn't even know that existed.
It does. It's still dark out.
So you're basically the first human.
There is nobody here in this room other than the news people that are in the news studio.
I would say that he's the one who turns the lights on, but he doesn't.
No, it's
he
dark.
sits here in the dark.
Yeah.
I turn the lights on.
Yeah, and Carl will get very aggressive with you if you try to turn the lights on at any given point to set up your workstation before.
His eyes aren't adjusted yet.
So thus probably explains why you did not see the thing in question until.
No, I saw it. When I see money, I see it. Yeah.
Okay, so the people are here over the weekend producing the various shows, the Gun Guy and
the Home and Garden Show,
the Ethan Show, and whatever. But you are looking around the workstation, which is a public area, and you spot what? Is it a $20 bill?
I didn't know exactly what it was, but it looked like money, and it was folded up into like little squares and taped with Scotch tape.
Where was it?
This was sitting right next to the board.
Okay, so it was in plain sight.
Yeah.
It was not hidden. This is not like some Indiana Jones adventure where you were given a quest to find the money.
I did not open up a floorboard.
Okay, very good. But it was in plain sight.
Yes.
Okay, so you are having a conundrum here on whether to take this money with you. And I don't know why, because it was in plain sight.
Yeah.
You have no idea who it was. It's not like it's $20,000. It's $20, Carl. It's there. It's yours to take. Yeah. But you're such a decent person. You're struggling to take this money with you.
Well, first of all, it almost seems like it's too easy. Like, why is it sitting there like it's a trap? It's like a honeypot.
Wasn't there a show? There used to be a show with hidden cameras where they would do this sort of thing and they would leave them out to see how people would respond.
See what happens.
See if you have any honest people working with you.
But this is usually like a briefcase full of money. I don't think they would do it for $20. I don't.
So what are you thinking? You want to put a note out there or email?
Did
anybody leave $20
out an email?
Yes,
like
I did.
Who left their 20?
Me.
Right? How are you going to know? It's not like it's not.
Identify the 20. What's the serial number?
You know, I mean,
Here's the dilemma.
Dirtball like Allison could come down here and try to claim it. We love Allison. We're just kidding. Just kidding.
We, the producers, are all friends, and
Are you?
It's
Kevin's.
Are you?
Kevin, that's your 20, isn't it? Yeah.
No, it's from the Weekend Crew.
What is some sort of producer secrets, Dead Poets Society, or what?
We're all pals. We all work on the same team.
Oh, do you? Right. Okay, so I say if someone, and everybody can weigh in on this.
Somebody's so careless with their money.
Yeah, but why? The question is, why was it all taped up?
Yeah, that's interesting.
And so I was thinking, maybe it is. Maybe it's counterfeit. Maybe there's drugs on it.
Counterfeit $20 bill, Carl. One counterfeit $20 bill sitting in the WIBC studio.
Here's the true test. If Rob Kendall touches it, then I know that he's not.
Are you going to split it with me? If you split it with me, if you hand me a $10 bill, I will gladly touch it.
I don't have 10 on me now.
What are you, Wimpy from Popeye? I'll give you a quarter today. Tomorrow.
This is the guy that has all of his mail tested.
That's right.
True. He makes me open the mail.
What's in it for me? Am I in on half the loot?
I'll give you half. It's not my money.
Well, then perfect. Hand it over
found
here.
Money.
All right, we've settled it.
Okay,
there you go. Perfect.
It's legit.
Do you know what I would do for $10, Carl? You have no idea.
Touch questionable
Actually,
money.
So there we go. Okay, settled. So you're taking that. You're giving me 10 of it, and everybody's going to walk away happy.
Yeah.
See how easy that was?
Well,
what
then they
happens-
know to come to you for the money, too.
Now, what happens if somebody comes and says that was my money?
Doesn't matter. You left it here. We already had this discussion. Kev, are you in on this? Or you'll probably.
Oh, he wants a 5?
Can I get a cut of it?
You would take that, right? There's no reason not to take that.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like, anyone's going to try to claim it, and they might not be honest about it.
I mean, at this point, they clearly went to great length to manipulate the money. They left it in plain sight. It wasn't as though there was an email that went out that said, oh my gosh, I left my last $20. The rent is due on Monday. Please save it for me. Guy Relford's super rich. Maybe he was just throwing money at people over the weekend.
Carl, I think to make this right, we all should get a cut. So we all get $5.
No, you didn't touch it.
Carl came to me first, and I said, that's yours, buddy.
But
Let's
you
keep
didn't touch it.
I'll touch it right now.
Then you rub your hands all over it.
Uh-huh. I'll rub it on my face.
No, okay, perfect. Kev,
Wow, that's on camera, too.
Okay, so let's see. You would be the last. Do you want 5 out of this?
Carl, actually, he told me when I came in, I think I was the first one to know about it.
Well, then you need to touch it. This is like some mafia thing where we're all pricking the hand here.
I think the true owner would know what president is on the 20. Rob, be quiet. Kevin, do you know what president is on the 20?
Andrew Jackson.
Oh, he's a historian.
Nice.
He's going to know
Good
that.
job.
Yeah, you didn't think I'd know that?
I thought maybe I was going to stump you.
Okay, so there we go. So, Carl, you owe each of us $5.
Okay, now I owe people.
All right, why don't we, so real quick, Carl, you're going to be back with us at 10:30. We're sending you to the governor's inauguration.
That's the plan.
And you're going to do a live play-by-play from what's going on. What is it, the Hilbert Circle Theater?
Yes.
That's on the Circle?
Right across the street from us.
Kind of an odd place to have the inauguration.
Ceremony begins at 11 a.m.
Yeah, so I'm planning to leave soon.
Okay, very good. All right, so we will talk to Carl at 10:30. Why don't we take a break? We have to talk about the big brawn ball.
Yeah.
And we're going to try to figure out how much Braun's bar tab actually was.
Sounds good. It's Kendall and Casey on 93 WIBC. Good morning.
Another update is just minutes away.
Wind chills are dropping temperatures into the single digit.
To perhaps even below zero on Tuesday night.
Your community.
14-year-old girl was shot and killed on Saturday, found lying in the snow.
Law enforcement agency to do everything that we can to hold those individuals accountable.
So far, no arrests.
Hear the news.
Notre Dame will square off against Ohio State in next Monday's national title game.
This is about this opportunity that lies right ahead of us.
93 WIBC Mobile News.
There she is, founder and CEO. High five.
Dave can't stop celebrating with every business owner in town.
All right, Baker Man. High five.
He's sharing the excitement of big savings with the Comcast Business 5-year price lock guarantee.
Ooh, up top, bike shop.
Yeah. It's 5 years of gig speed internet.
Quick, high five.
5 years of advanced security.
5 years.
And 5 years of a great rate that won't change.
Yeah, law partners. Chamberlain, Messelthorpe, Dubois.
All from the company with 99.9% network reliability. Switch today and get the 5-year price lock guarantee.
5 years.
It's back, but only for a limited time.
Woo!
Powering 5 years of savings, powering possibilities. Comcast Business.
Can't forget you, voiceover guy.
Ah, thanks, Dave.
High five.
Ends 3/9/25. Guaranteed rate applies to monthly service charge for new customers on qualifying internet bundle, excluding taxes and fees. Other restrictions apply.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 40-year-old male, maybe a bit porky, and you may even have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term life insurance may only cost you about $100 a month. Call Term Provider. Speak with Big Lou at 800-239-1749. Big Lou will find a term life policy for you even if you have type 2 diabetes, are overweight, or have high blood pressure. Term Provider has helped thousands of people like you who think they can't afford term life insurance. To buy $1 million of affordable term life for you, all you need to do is call Big Lou at 800-239-1749. Lou will make sure the scales are tipped in your favor. Call 800-239-1749. Big Lou will answer your call and work to fit you into a term life policy that you can afford. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds too. For affordable term life insurance, call 800-239-1749. 800-239-1749.
Someone had a birthday.
Yep, 50. Can't believe it.
50 years of wisdom.
Great segue. We have health news, a CDC update.
Pneumococcal vaccination is now recommended for adults 50 or older. Says here, we're over 6 times more likely to be hospitalized with pneumococcal pneumonia than adults under 50.
I don't love those odds.
Same. Look what I found. Pfizer's Prevnar 20 is proven to help protect adults against pneumococcal pneumonia and invasive pneumococcal disease in just 1 dose. And millions have already gotten it.
Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you have a severe allergy to its ingredients. A weakened immune system may lower your response. Common side effects include injection site pain and swelling, fatigue, headache, muscle, and joint pain. For full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138. Visit Prevnar20.com or talk to your doctor or pharmacist.
I'm on Prevnar20.com now, scheduling my appointment.
Good idea. And happy 50th.
The new year is here. Time for change. Start a recession-resistant new career in the high-demand fields of IT, cybersecurity, and AI with My Computer Career in just months. Already in IT? Build your cybersecurity skills and prep for thousands of open positions employers nationwide are desperate to fill. Attend classes live online or on campus. Make this your year. Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation today. That's mycomputercareer.edu. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including the GI Bill.
In almost every case, when Advent has solved a breathing triangle problem, it is a one and done. Because we don't want you to be a lifelong patient. We want you to be our next success story.
Friendly reminder to change your filter. Head on over to our website at familyhvac.net for some of the best pricing on filters around.
Family Heating and Air is your trusted local independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
Oh, Rob, a new era begins today. Governor-elect Mike Braun will take the reins from Governor Eric Holcomb and begin his administration along Micah Beckwith, who will serve as lieutenant governor. Lots of events took place over the weekend. You had the ticketed breakfast.
You're bearing the lead. Holcomb's done.
Holcomb's out. Na, 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 na. Hey, hey, hey. Goodbye.
Okay, so there's no way Holcomb actually goes and works a real job where he has to produce something because he's incapable of doing that, and he's avoided that his entire life. So what, all right, let's put it out there right now. What sort of super connected position is he going to get, probably related to some sort of government action that he took that benefited somebody in a fine fashion whenever he's legally allowed to do that? Like,
Yeah.
what are we guessing?
I'm guessing board of directors on something.
He does have that written all over him.
Yeah.
By the way, I have it up on @RobMKendall. Hammer and Nigel, they're masters of the AI stuff. And so I post this. You can see this. They had a theory on what actually took place with the infamous meet and greet that Holcomb had with domestic terrorist Malik Muhammad, now in jail for attempting to kill cops in Portland. You may remember him as the guy who threatened to seize the governor's mansion on live television during the Summer of Love, and then Holcomb not only didn't arrest him, he gave him a meet and greet and then let him skedoodle on out there to Portland where he then tried to kill cops. And so if you'd like to see what Hammer and Nigel have speculated actually took place, you can see the post @RobMKendall on Twitter. So Holcomb's done.
Yeah.
Do we think? Yeah, he'll be like a speaker somewhere that doesn't require you to be a good speaker. So like a college professor. I mean, there's no way he's not running anything.
He said he was done with politics for a while. He was going to give it a break, right?
It's always like when the coach, the very unpopular coach or general manager, it would be the equivalent of Chris Ballard after next year going, I'm not going to be running any teams for a while. I'd like to do something else.
I'm choosing to take a break.
He would have totally run for Senate if he thought he could get away with it and had a chance. But, of course, he's just pissed everybody off to the point where he would have had zero chance. And he's an idiot, but he's a smart guy, and he don't want to embarrass himself. So, yeah, he'll have some job where he doesn't actually have to produce anything. And I'm very much looking forward to seeing what that
It's very much like when he was governor.
Yeah.
It's some job where he didn't have to produce anything.
Okay, so Braun and Beckwith are getting sworn in a little bit. We're going to send Carl over there. It was kind of rude of them to do that during our show.
You think so? They should have scheduled that more appropriately.
But, look, if there's people that they owe being where they're at, it's us, right? I mean, we delivered. But we got to go to the big thing.
You keep calling it the Braun Ball.
The Braun Ball, right? Yes, the Braun Ball. We got to go to the Braun Ball.
Yeah.
And we were in the front row.
We were. It was weird because we walked in the big room and there were over 200 tables.
Yeah.
And I had told you, boy, I think we're probably going to be like in a back corner, which is fine.
Right.
And then when we got there and they said, no, you're at table number 4.
Yes.
And there were over 200 tables. Okay. Right in the front, right next to Mike Braun and his family.
Yeah, I started trying to scalp my tickets, and I was told you can't sell your seats, buddy. Like, you are where you are. So it's a front row. It's a front row ticket. So now they did have. This is what I want to ask you. They did have an open bar. Like, there's this line. There's this it's at the Marriott, so it's obviously a real fancy, schwanky sort of place.
It looked like a really nice wedding. I mean, there were floral centerpieces and. Everything was nice.
So it's at the Marriott, and there's these open bar lines, and they're making like whatever you want them to make. And I thought you had to pay for it, and then I find out they're like, no, it's already taken care of.
Really?
So I started figuring in my head what the bar tab ended up being.
Yeah.
Okay,
well, there was 2,000 people there.
Were there 2,000? All right, so let's say 1,500 of them drank. And by the way, the reason I went was to make sure that Micah didn't drink and embarrass himself. And I pleased to report I was very successful.
Easy job.
He drank 0 while I was there. So see, that's why people like me are around. All right. So 1,500 people. Let's say there were an average of 2 drinks each. Okay. 2. So that 1,500 times 2 is, what is it? That's 3,000, right? Times 2, 3,000. What do you think at a Marriott, a JW Marriott? What are they charging? $10 a drink?
That's what I was thinking.
Maybe more, but
yeah,
let's just
average it out. $10
times 10. That's a $30,000 bar tab.
Well, you're forgetting about the wine that was on every table.
That's
too.
true. Yeah.
Were there 2 bottles of wine? There was a bottle of red and a bottle of white.
Well, yeah, I had to keep
or
telling you,
more?
Casey, you can't be double fisting the bottles of wine. That's
now
for everyone.
come on! I took a sip of the red wine, and
you tell me what to do.
It was good wine too. I did not have a cocktail like you did.
Yeah,
from the open bar.
Long Island.
I took one sip of the red wine.
Look, the old me would have 7 since someone else was paying for them, but I could see it now. Rob, you're embarrassing Micah. Rob, you're slurring your words. Rob, you can't be poking Braun in the chest. All the things, I could just see it now. So
Rob, put your pants back on.
I was very well behaved, and I didn't do anything to embarrass myself or my immediate family.
This is true.
So let's just say the bar tab was. That came to 30. Let's add another 10 on because you said there were all those bottles of wine. I'm sure we're probably lowballing it because I can imagine what a drink actually costs at the Marriott. So let's just say it was a 40,000 plus 20% gratuity. So what is that? That's another 8,000 you're adding on. So about a $50,000 bar tab.
Wow. And that doesn't even include the food or the rental of the place or the flowers.
Now no.
Linens.
Let's okay. So I'm at the front of the thing to get our tickets.
Yeah.
And it's like you got to say your name, right? And so
yes,
I'm thinking,
yes,
okay, this is the Republican Party. So I go up there and say my name, and the guy kind of he darts his eyes up at me. They're these young intern kids, right? In the 20s, probably fresh out of college, some of them in college, and his eyes just dart up at me. And okay, here we go. And he goes, "You're the radio guy." I said, "Maybe." He goes, "Oh man, I love your show."
Yes, I am the radio guy.
Well, you should probably not say that too loud around here because you'll not be working in this organization for very long. He was very nice. But what I was noticing, and I am the only person who notices these sorts of things, is they have the big signs, right? This Republican schwanky function brought to you by the following people who want favors. And, it's this long list of things. And I noticed Google was on the list in Great Big Print. And I'm like, why is Google on the list? Now, this should be an eye-opener on how these things work. Casey, would you like to read me the headline that you found on Google as it relates to the state of Indiana?
Oh, it was GOP governor thrilled with $2 billion investment from Google.
Yes.
Eric Holcomb said that he was thrilled to announce that Google is bringing its cutting-edge technology and sustainable practices to Fort Wayne to establish a state-of-the-art $2 billion data center.
Okay, so I'm going to guess if you were to read into that story, Google, who is not running a soup kitchen.
That happened in April of last year,
who can go wherever they want. There probably is some serious economic development incentive for Google to come to the state of Indiana. And I'm not saying anything nefarious or underboard has taken place here. I'm sure based on how the rules are written that this is all perfectly legal. But don't you see how that works? Like, you as a taxpayer subsidize a mega corporation to come to our state. So your money is taken to subsidize this. And then, what do you know? Google, who, by the way, on all the years I was going to Republican functions, I never saw Google on any banners. Now, all of a sudden, wouldn't you know, Casey, Google's all in with the Indiana Republican Party.
I wonder if Google paid for that $50,000 bar
Well, I'm sure
tab.
they paid part of it. And again, nothing nefarious. I'm not insinuating anything illegal. These are how the rules are written. This is how it works. But I'm telling you, this is how the whole thing works. Like, they get subsidies, they get incentives, they get bonuses, they get whatever you want to call them, and then all of a sudden, wouldn't you know? I mean, we saw this. What was one of those dinners recently where, hey, now the teachers union is sponsoring the Indiana Republican Party, right?
Which seemed really odd.
Yes,
out of place.
It all does seem odd.
But they don't care. Money's money, right?
Okay, so you want to talk about the big day? I mean, today's the swearing-in day. We can take a break, and then we can get into some of that because now we don't have to be nice to any of these people anymore.
Yeah, we'll do that. It is Kendall and Casey. It's 93 WIBC.
Hey, Pat Sullivan here with an offer you don't want to miss. My friends at Hope Plumbing want to help their customers stay healthy by improving their water quality. Install a combo package, a new tankless reverse osmosis system, a carbon filter, and a water softener, all for $5,000. Let's face it, Indiana's water quality is pretty poor, and this water quality combo for only $5,000 can help ensure your family's drinking water is safe. Give Hope Plumbing a call or visit them online at hopeplumbing.com.
Hey guys, it's Rob for We Grow Hair Indy, and man, it's hard to believe it's been 4 years ago now that I went to We Grow Hair Indy and got my confidence back. And the great thing about going to We Grow Hair Indy is I see the results every time I look in the mirror. You see it in photos. It's just a continual, it's the gift that keeps on giving, as one famous movie once described something. And here's how it works. You call today, 317-522-2995, 317-522-2995. Schedule your totally free, no hassle, no obligation consultation. They'll take a look at what's going on, top of your head, and then they'll give you some possibilities about how to get your hair back. Then you make the choice. In the meantime, you can see how other people got their confidence back and their hair back by heading over to WeGrowHairIndy.com. WeGrowHairIndy.com, 317-522-2995. WeGrowHairIndy.com. Tell them Rob sent you.
Why not start 2025 with a great new deal from Tom Roush Lincoln? Select 2024 Lincoln Navigators, now $12,000 off, and get 0% for 60 months. How about an all-new 2024 Lincoln Nautilus, now $6,000 off with rates starting at 4.9% for 60 months. So start the new year with a new car from Tom Roush Lincoln in Fishers.
Lincoln Navigator MSRP 104,200. Lincoln Nautilus MSRP 61,695. Offers good through January 31st, 2025. Subject to credit approval. See dealer for complete offer details.
Are you tired of high cable TV rates? Sign up for Dish today and get a $500 bonus offer while supplies last. Plus, lock in your price for 2 years guaranteed. Call All American Dish, your Dish authorized retailer now.
800-296-1251. 800-296-1251. That's 800-296-1251. Offers require credit qualification, 24-month commitment, early termination fee, and e-auto pay. Restrictions apply. Call for details.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Adding fuel to the fire, it's sunny and 18 degrees downtown. I'm Kurt Darling. Here's what's trending at 9:30. Southern California expected to see dangerous winds return as wildfires in the area continue to burn. The number of people dead from the fires is up to 24, with California Governor Gavin Newsom saying that there are likely to be more. The Palisades, East Eaton, and the Hearst fires have been burning for the last 6 days. Plans have hit a snag when it comes to a possible prisoner swap with the Taliban. Fox's Jared Halpern.
The president spoke with families as details emerged of a possible prisoner exchange that would free a former associate of Osama bin Laden detained at Guantanamo Bay. But that deal, President Biden told families, is stalled because the Taliban denies holding one of the men, American businessman Mahmoud Habibi. American George Glesman was taken into custody in December of 2022, the same year Habibi went missing. At the White House, Jared Halpern, Fox News.
TikTok is still awaiting to learn its fate after the Supreme Court heard arguments last week over an impending ban of the massively popular video platform. Under a law signed last spring, ByteDance, TikTok's Chinese parent company, must sell the platform by January 19th or be banned in the U.S. Your opening bell report on 93 WIBC, brought to you by Absolute Wealth Management, LLC. Not a good start to the week. The Dow is off 50 points before the opening bell at 42,110. The Nasdaq down 222 points to 20,790. And the S&P 500 is down 42 to 5,824. I'm Kirk Darling, on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
Join Mark Patrick Seminars and stop smoking without cravings, irritability, weight gain, or your money back. Early bird special only $49.99 guaranteed. Also, lose all the weight and let Mark Patrick Hypnosis destroy unwanted cravings. Seminars Thursday, January 23rd at the Holiday Inn Express in Noblesville. Weight loss seminar 5:30 p.m., stop smoking seminar at 8. Or Saturday, January 25th at the Holiday Inn Indianapolis Airport. Weight loss seminar 11 a.m., stop smoking seminar 2 p.m. Sign up at markpatrickseminars.com.
Healthcare.gov has plans for health because you have plans for life. All plans cover doctor visits and emergency care to keep you and your family running strong. All plans cover hospital stays and prescriptions so you can have peace of mind. Visit healthcare.gov to explore health plans from the brands you know. 4 out of 5 customers can find a health plan for $10 or less per month with financial help. Healthcare.gov is here for you. Final deadline to enroll is January 15th. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Hi, this is Denny Smith for Exercise Inc. A lot of folks give up on their bodies in their 40s or 50s. Statistically, we gain 1.5 pounds every year past 50, and it's usually a tough slog to fight that. 19 years ago, I took a friend's recommendation, and I went to Exercise Inc. for one of their free consultations. Me? I didn't want to get heavy. I wanted to stay trim and in shape, and that was really a struggle. 19 years ago I went, and 19 years later, I'm still going every week. They've helped me to reach and maintain my health and fitness goals, and they do that with specific strength training in only 20 minutes a week. You've just got to try this health and exercise approach, and the consultation is free. My guess is that, like me, you'll be skeptical for the first couple of weeks, and then it happens. You'll feel better. You'll probably lose some weight, and you'll probably look better, too. Go to Exercise Inc. today and sign up for a free consultation. Avon, Brownsburg, Zionsville, and Greenwood, now in Fishers, too. ExerciseInc.com.
Go where the pros go. Drexel Interiors. For 1951 cabinetry, visit Drexel's Kitchen and Bath Design Centers at 146th and River Road, North Shadeland, or DrexelIN.com.
You're listening to the Kendall and Casey Show on 93 WIBC.
So Mike Braun's going to become Indiana's new governor today when he is sworn in. He succeeds term-limited Eric Holcomb after winning the election in November. You were there, the big Braun ball.
That's right.
The gala. So Rob and I took a picture. It happened pretty quickly when we got there. I said, all right, let's just take this picture, get it over with.
Yeah, and it was just like I'm just there minding my own business. And you're like, oh my gosh, we gotta get a picture together. And it can't be here and it can't be there. And it's gotta be right here. Oh, let me look at the 93rd picture we've taken together. Oh, that one works. We can post it. It's just exhausting. It's just like
Is that how it went down in your mind?
Well, lady, everybody wants photos with me, and you took up about 32 minutes of those poor people's time while we were trying to get a photo together.
Oh my gosh. I love how you exaggerate so much. It was literally like, hey, come on, let's do this. Click, click, click. Okay, that works.
I never know what to do in photos with
We
people,
moved
too.
on.
I always just do like a thumbs up because there were so many, and it was awesome. Look, here's the thing. When you go to a thing, somebody asked me about the room, and I said, here's how I would describe the room. 70 us, 30 them. And the interesting thing about the Republican Party, and I don't know if you could kind of feel this in this room, but there is a real recognition, I think, out of the establishment. Now, they still control all the cards because they control the money, the donors, the lobbyists. But there's a real understanding by those guys that things got a little more difficult for them because with Micah being in there, you have somebody who can't be bought. He can't be bought. He can't be sold. He's going to do what's right. And now Cousin Eddie, his buddy Cousin Eddie over here, is going to know when bullcrap gets pulled. And look at when those two dinosaur senators filed that stupid bill, and it was my understanding they got an earful from everyone after we talked about it. That's how it's going to work now.
You're talking about Buck and Glick.
Yeah, we can either be your best friend or your worst enemy, and the Republicans get to decide how that's going to be going forward, and we're not going anywhere, so you get to decide how that relationship works. You could feel that in that room, and I would say that it was probably, you recognize in that room with people coming up and wanting photos and to talk and everything. It was great meeting so many of our listeners or seeing many of them again. The majority of Republicans, conservatives in this state agree with us. We are where the people is. We are where the people is. We are where the people are. And the power structure, which unfortunately, even though they're about 30% of the equation because they control the government, they get to make the rules, right? So hopefully we can kind of keep chipping away at that over time. We've made a big step with Micah being in there. Of course, they're going to be gunning for him. But the good thing about Micah is he's lived an exemplary life, right? Like, he's lived the life I always wish I could have lived. And there ain't nothing on that guy, right? So, but it was great to meet so many of our fans and our listeners, and I'm so sorry that many of you had to wait in line while Casey took up so much time trying to get that photo done the way she wanted.
I want to just share some of the comments because I posted it on X and everybody said, you know, I classed up the joint and that I was looking great and then that I should blink if I was being held hostage. And then how did Rob get in? Under a beverage cart?
That's right.
And then some people were saying, hey, the suit still fits. And then others said, Rob, it's time for a new suit. And how about that tie from the 1990s?
Yeah, didn't that suit? I've had that suit 15 years and it still fits perfect.
Did you have a pocket square in that suit?
Did I have a what?
A pocket square? No, you didn't.
Do I strike you as the sort of person who has a...
You know who looked absolutely beautiful?
Me?
Your wife.
Oh, yeah, she was
fine. Gorgeous. Gorgeous.
She was fine.
How? Why?
I'm kidding. Yes, she was wonderful.
Why? How?
Huh?
She's with you.
We've been through this.
Yeah,
I've told you this.
Stunning.
Look, I bring a lot to the table, Casey. And by a lot, I mean a lot to the table. And I think we all know that it's my firm handshake is the total reason
is that what it is?
My wife fell in love with me. Look, I've told this story before. So my wife was an intern for Emmis. She worked for corporate Emmis. In the way when Smullian owned us, there was a corporation, Emmis Corporation. The radio stations were under them. And she, looking the way she looked, wouldn't you know, she was Mr. Smullian's like personal IT intern person. And
he's got a good eye.
Yeah, boy, and boy howdy. And so on each floor, we used in the good old days, we used to have a techie person, an IT person, whatever, for each floor for all the radio stations. And the guy who was on our floor had a bit of a meltdown or breakdown or whatever, and they told him, we'll see you later. And so they sent her down here in his place until they could find a permanent person. She was a fan of mine, shall we say. And I'll tell you what, it was relatively easy. I mean,
it worked out for you.
Well, it worked out great for her. I mean, she gets to be married to me. And I mean, I'm the father of her baby. And I mean, she is living the good life in a 1,600 square foot brick ranch home in beautiful Brownsburg, Casey.
So there were some speeches at the gala. You had Micah Beckwith speak, of course. Todd Rokita spoke, and Anne Hathaway was there, outgoing chairperson, former chairperson of the Republican Party, and then, of course, Mike Braun spoke. So did Maureen Braun. But the moment that a hush went over the entire crowd was when Susan Beckwith sang the national anthem. I have never heard a version better than that in my entire life.
Yeah, she did great.
She was amazing. And she undersold it. She was like, well, I don't know. Run through didn't go so well. And we were like, okay, good luck. And she was very nervous. And she got up there and just slayed it. It was amazing. It gave me goosebumps.
You know, somebody made a great point in the YouTube chat. You can watch. I don't mean to take away Susan's moment of glory. We'll get back to that. I feel like we've done enough for the Beckwiths, though. Yeah. Somebody made a great... That's funny, Kev. You can laugh at that. That is funny. Somebody said, and they're right, you can watch us on YouTube, by the way. Just put Kendall and Casey into your search bar. Is that what it's called? Search bar on YouTube? Rob, you're living up to that letter you wrote yourself when you were in high school. You got yourself a hottie. Yes, we've read that letter. Yeah, that's absolutely right. And that was top of my list of all the things when I grew up.
Yeah.
A much younger, very attractive woman was top of mine.
Yeah.
Perfect. Anyway, yes, so the national anthem is actually, I'm of course not a singer.
But you've been told it's a hard song to sing.
Oh, it's one of the hardest.
Yeah.
Kev, why is that? Why is it the national anthem is one of the hardest? Is it the notes or what is it?
I honestly... I feel like you just have to have impeccable technique.
Yeah.
And I can't really explain it, but it is a difficult song.
Yeah.
And she does great.
She was amazing.
Remember that time you mortified her and impromptu were like, please sing the national anthem on our show?
And she did great there.
Every time I see her, she mentions that.
Yeah.
And that was a life-changing event for her.
But she sounded fantastic. But let's listen to what Mike Braun had to say at the inaugural gala this weekend.
And imagine what we can do in a state when your principles are based upon faith, family, and community, and you're running on a platform of freedom and opportunity. We're going to go into new horizons, I am confident, that we've never seen before, and I intend to lead this state in a way that they're going to be talking about us. And thank you all for being here for the ride. Thank you so much.
So it was a nice short speeches by everybody. They weren't very lengthy. Were you surprised by that?
No, it was good. People are there to drink and eat. They don't want to listen to you guys.
And then you had Mike Huckabee's band. Mike Huckabee's band.
So the entertainment was Mike... entertainment was Mike Huckabee.
Capital Offense is the name of the band.
Really? It's not the Mike Huckabee band?
No.
Really?
Yeah.
So Mike Huckabee was the governor of Arkansas. He ran for president twice. Actually did pretty well in 2008. I think he got second in the Republican primary. He then had a TV show for years on Fox. I don't know if he's still on Fox or News Nation or where he's at now. And that his daughter was the spokesperson for Trump or press secretary or something like that. And then she's the governor of Arkansas now. And he's randomly up there on stage, just in the background. He's not the main guy.
Nope.
He's just Mike. There's Mike Huckabee with a beard playing the bass guitar. It was the most random thing ever.
Yeah, and it was actually a rather big band. They had 7 or 8 guys up there on stage.
That's right.
Well.
See,
And they did a good job.
You should have come with us.
People
awesome.
got on the dance floor. The dance floor was packed as well, so people had a good time.
What time did you leave?
I left at 10.
Oh, you were right behind us.
Yeah. No, I think I left before you, actually.
Really?
Because you do the Midwest goodbye.
Oh, yeah.
All right, we're leaving, but then people stop you on your way out and want to talk to you.
It's like, I can't get out of anywhere I ever go. And that's part of the problem when I go to these things, which is why I don't leave my house. I end up showing up the people who are the featured people, in this case, Braun. And I don't want to make Braun mad. It is an inaugural ball. So I told my wife, I said, we have an opportunity to sneak out of here. We're going to try to sneak out of here. I think we only ran into like 4 or 5 people on the way out.
Right.
So, yeah, it was great. All right, we got to take a break. Casey has a big announcement when we come back.
Okay.
And this is going to affect the show a little bit. It's going to affect your life a lot. And
maybe. We'll see.
No, it totally is.
Okay.
You always downplay your personal life, Casey, and this is a really big deal.
It is Kendall and Casey. It's 93 WIBC.
Hammer and Nigel show, 3 o'clock this afternoon. The biggest stories in Indy. Monday Gun Day with Guy Relford, and we're going to have a lot of fun. Jeff Boggs is in for Nigel. 93 WIBC.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $200-$300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code YEAR to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code YEAR for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code YEAR for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
If you want to sell your home soon, now is the time to get the process started. Get your home sold fast, easy, at top dollar, and guaranteed with Mark Dietl. Perhaps you're worried you won't sell your home for the price you need. Mark Dietl guarantees your home sold at a mutually agreed upon price and deadline, or he will buy it. Listen to what David in Martinsville had to say about working with Mark Dietl. We were in a pinch. We had to sell a property in 2024 to avoid a serious tax hit. We had an agent friend list the property with no activity for months. We then hired the Mark Dietl team and went under contract and closed in a few weeks. What a relief to get our property sold and money in the bank. Call the local Indianapolis agent I trust and recommend and the agent who guarantees your home sold or he'll buy it. Call Mark Dietl at 317-755-4232 for all the details, or go online to markdietl.com. That's Mark, DIETEL.com.
Mike Rowe here with a quick question. Have you noticed mold, mildew, bowing walls, or water in your basement? I hope not, but if you have, your basement is losing the war against groundwater. That's where Indiana Foundation Service comes in, a groundworks company. They can honestly assess your situation and create a plan to waterproof your basement and stabilize your walls. Schedule your free inspection at indianafoundation.com/row.
Licensed in all states where work is performed. See website for details.
Whether you're tinkering in your garage or tackling big projects, if you know the value of working with your hands, you know Harbor Freight. And you can be confident knowing that at Harbor Freight, you can get quality tools at prices that work just as hard as you do. Because the only thing more satisfying than a job well done is a job well done, well under budget. Whatever you do, do it for less at Harbor Freight.
One of the real advantages that we have here at Hendricks is the scope of the services that we have to offer in orthopedics.
Whether they have a hip fracture or they're a high-functioning athlete, we're all working towards the same thing.
To have them be able to have an elective surgery safely and then go home also in a safe fashion is of utmost importance.
We very much want everyone to get back to doing everything that they were doing beforehand. We're really invested in it.
Unstoppable orthopedic care. Learn more at hendricks.org/ortho.
You want to listen all day to WIBC, but you don't always have time. Don't worry. There's a podcast for that. The WIBC Mashup. Daily highlights from your favorite hosts, Tony Katz, Kendall Casey, and Hammer and Nigel. Subscribe wherever you get your podcasts.
All right, big news for Casey and to some extent for this show. And Casey hates to talk about her personal life, so I'm going to make her as uncomfortable as I possibly can.
Yeah.
And make her talk about her personal life.
Well, it's not even so much me that we're talking about. It is the dude.
Yeah,
Jim,
your husband.
Jim, we're going to be talking about now. So, Jim and I, we've been married, 27 years?
I don't know. How long have you been married? I wasn't there.
1997 is when we got married. And we met at a radio station in Lansing.
Can I just say,
what?
You need to bring this in at some point. You have one of the great wedding photos of all time.
Oh, my gosh.
It's just everything 1990s. I love that photo.
Yeah.
I want one for my office, actually.
Just what? So you can point and laugh?
I
just
love
to make you smile.
Oh, anyway, so go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah. So I went up to go on an interview once in Lansing, and it was a Saturday, and this guy opened the door, and I thought to myself, well, he's really cute. I hope I get this job because I'd like to get to know that guy. And it was Jim.
It was basically like a dime store novel story.
Yeah.
Right?
It was like, love at first sight.
You asked him to show you the board and the control room, and one thing led to another, and then now you've been married 28 years.
Right. And then, a few years after we were dating in Lansing, I got a job in South Bend. And a few weeks later, he followed me to South Bend, and we ended up getting married in South Bend at St. Pius Catholic Church.
How exciting.
There. And, we had our daughter, and both Jim and I moved a lot when we were young, and we said we didn't want to do that to our daughter. We didn't want to move her around a lot. We wanted her to have schooling all with the same friends throughout her upbringing. And so we managed to be in South Bend for 25 years. And through that time, both of our careers grew. And Jim, was president of Schurz Communications, which is WSBT in radio in South Bend, and he was named as one of the top 50 general managers in radio by Radio Inc. magazine. But he also did a few other things, like he sat on the St. Joseph County Chamber of Commerce, and he was one of those 40 under 40 people, like, when you make great achievements. He was in the same class as Pete Buttigieg.
It's one of my great disappointments.
We're not going to hold that
life.
against him.
I never made a 40 under 40. Probably like one of those things because of my politics. But anyway, go on, Casey.
But he was also the president of the Mishawaka Business Association. He was a board member for the Studebaker National Museum.
We don't need his resume. He's a great guy. Just tell us the news.
Graduated from NAB's broadcast leadership training, and he was also on the board of directors for the Indiana Broadcasters Association. I tell you all of these things so that you'll know he is completely qualified for this job that he is now taking. And here it is. The dude, Jim, my husband, is going to be the director of communications for Micah Beckwith.
Oh, that's wonderful.
And today is his first day. He's starting at the State House, and I'm so proud of him. And I know that he is going to help Micah craft all of his communications to Hoosiers across the state.
Yes.
And help make great change and do wonderful things for everyone.
So we wanted to put that out. First of all, we, unlike what was some of these shows, we want to be totally transparent with you about what's going on, and we wanted you to know that at all times when we talk to Micah or whatever, we don't ever want to keep you in the dark on anything. Also, Jim has done such a great job filling in
for you,
for me, and we wanted
he won't be able to do that now.
No, why you won't hear him anymore. And so what had happened is we had some fun for when Micah was first elected after he and Braun won about whether I was going to leave and go with him. And I told you people, I'm not leaving. I'm not going anywhere. And I told Micah I'm not leaving or going anywhere. But I know someone who would be perfect. And Jim is that person. And I'm so pleased it's worked out. And he's going to do a great job with that.
Yeah, he actually last night he was helping Micah craft his inaugural speech that he'll be giving today. So
if it sucks, it's all Jim's fault.
Well, that's true. Or if it's fantastic, it's to his credit. So yesterday he went over to the State House because a lot of them were just kind of checking in, looking around, seeing where their offices were going to be. And he sent me a text and he said, "How did we get here?" And I said, "I brought you here."
That's right. You owe your whole life to me.
It's your fault.
Well,
Kendall.
That's usually the way it works.
The credit and the blame, right?
I've ruined many a relationship over the years, Casey, usually my own, but this time I'm interfering in your business. But we wanted to make sure everybody knew that. We don't want to ever you think we're hiding anything from you. We're very proud of Jim. We're glad he has that. We're glad he has that position, so that way nobody can say, "Well, they're misleading their audience." Now we're total Micah homers anyway. I don't think anybody was like, "Well, they're really on Micah's side on things." Of course we are.
Right. But it's no surprise.
We wanted to let everybody know that Jim will be over there, and now.
He'll help.
I don't know who the next fill-in guy
is. Yeah, I don't know either. But Mike Braun has promised to focus on the kitchen table issues like property taxes and the cost of health care, also school choice, and I believe Micah will continue on that conversation as well.
Okay, so coming up at 10:30. So the inauguration is today at 11. It's actually on the circle, around the circle. I feel like Austin Powers there. Allow myself to introduce
myself.
It's around. It's on the circle, around the circle.
At the Hilbert Circle Theater.
At the Hilbert Circle
It's home of
Theater.
the Indianapolis Symphony
That's
Orchestra.
right. You ever been in there?
No.
It's very nice.
Yeah.
Very swanky joint. And that'll be at 11. So we're going to have Carl, Tony's producer, call us, scheduled to call us at 10:30. He will be in the building and let us know kind of the lay of the land, what's going on, how the setup is. And so we'll very much look forward to that.
What are we sending Carl into? Because he doesn't exactly have a press pass. It's open to the public, though.
No, he's fine. I sent an email, and we got permission. I sent the thing, and they were very nice, and they wrote back. And even if they don't like me, they like
they know
cats,
he's coming.
So, you know, Carl's with Tony, so why would they worry about that? So no. So we'll be fine. We'll get you the shape of the building. We'll see if Carl's being bullied by anyone. We'll find out what everyone's wearing, and then it was a little inconsiderate of them, though, Casey, wasn't it, to have that at 11?
Right
When they
during
made
our
it
show?
noon?
Yeah.
Could have walked over.
Well, now
there.
we have an on-site reporter.
All right, when we come back, I've observed some online behavior recently, and I have to ask you if I'm just an old fuddy-duddy or these people are acting inappropriately.
Sounds good. It is Kendall and Casey. It's 93 WIBC.
It's like being trapped in a cage. And I know, that sounds dramatic, but your breathing triangle problem has got you trapped. And once you're freed, you're going to be able to live the life that you're missing out on. Now, this can simply mean experiencing the true pleasure of breathing freely. It will mean better sleep and more energy. And the worry of this problem any more affecting your life is going to be gone. Because in almost every case, when Advent has solved a breathing triangle problem, it's a one and done. Because we're not in the business of delivering Band-Aids. We want to fix your nasal breathing problem for good. We don't want you to be a lifelong patient. We want you to be our next success story.
Isn't it time you break free from that cage? Take the next step. Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment, because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better.
Breathe well with simple solutions. AdventKnows.com.
Results may vary. Most insurance accepted.
The holidays are over, and the new year is here, making it the perfect time to think about the future. More specifically, it's the perfect time to think about your financial future. Right now, Howard Bailey Financial is offering a free retirement toolkit, a comprehensive guide designed to help you plan, save, and jumpstart the retirement you deserve. To get your free copy today, text FUTURE to 888-262-1104 and download your free retirement toolkit. Start 2025 off with a gift to yourself, filled with all the tools you need to plan for a positive and purpose-filled future. Just text FUTURE to 888-262-1104 to start planning today. Make this new year your year to invest in yourself and secure a brighter tomorrow, starting today. Howard Bailey Securities, LLC is an independent financial services firm and uses a variety of different investment strategies. Please see disclosures at howardbailey.com.
Hey, this is Lisa Stofan. Heard the Mark Patrick weight loss hypnosis hype? Well, I attended because my father stopped smoking with hypnosis. Hypnosis eliminated my desire for soda and fast food, made me want to exercise, and I lost 60 pounds in 6 months. My energy level exploded. I went to another session to deal with some other problem foods, and I lost another 10 pounds. In fact, I brought my husband, and he lost weight, and his cholesterol and blood pressure improved. My friend lost 20 pounds her first 2 months.
What are you waiting for? Join Mark Patrick seminars and lose the weight or stop smoking guaranteed. Early bird special only $49.99. Hypnosis to destroy unwanted cravings, late day eating binges, boredom eating, stress eating. Seminars Thursday, January 23rd at the Holiday Inn Express and Suites in Noblesville. Weight loss seminar 5:30, stop smoking seminar 8 p.m. And Saturday, January 25th at the Holiday Inn Indianapolis Airport. Weight loss seminar 11 a.m., stop smoking seminar 2 p.m. Register at markpatrickseminars.com.
I'm Patrick McCaffrey, basketball player at Butler University. In 2023, I stepped away from the game and got professional help when anxiety started to overwhelm me. If you're having a mental health crisis, assistance is available for you too. Just call the 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline, where a trained specialist will give you immediate support. That's what helped me, and it can help you too. Call 988. When you need someone who gets you, they got you.
It's Hammer and Nigel from Window Nation. Heating costs are getting out of control, and your best bet is to replace your cold, drafty windows with energy-efficient ones from Window Nation. Act now, and you'll save big with 50% off all window styles, plus you could get zero interest with zero payments for 2 years.
With an A-plus rating from the Better Business Bureau, you can trust Window Nation. Hurry, this big sale ends January 31st, so schedule your free in-home consultation right now. 866-90-NATION or visit windownation.com.
Coming up in 2 minutes, soon a new person will be in charge of the state. That'll happen in the next hour or so. Plus, a tragic end to a standoff that happened on the northeast side this morning, and where the Colts are in trying to find a new leader for their defense. I'm Kurt Darling. That and more coming up from the Technology Recycler Studios after Fox News Radio. You're listening to 93 WYBC, WYBC HD1 Indianapolis. It's 10 o'clock.
The wildfire disaster could get even worse around Los Angeles. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News.
We're in really now the calm before the next windstorm.
Santa Ana winds will pick back up today into Wednesday and could spread. 3 wildfires still raging, including the one that left Pacific Palisades at charred ruins. Fox's Jonathan Hunt is there.
That was the situation last Tuesday morning when the flames ripped through here in the Palisades, wreaking this kind of damage across such a huge swath of what was an idyllic part of Los Angeles.
At least 24 people have been killed. More than 12,000 buildings and houses have burned down, including Robert Lara's in Altadena. His mother and uncle's homes are also just ashes now, and he tells Fox his
lost mentally. This is so much to attempt to process. I mean, we had everything. It's all gone.
FEMA Administrator Gianna Criswell tells Fox the victims need to reply right away,
so we can ensure that they're getting everything that they're eligible for. And our programs are designed to help jumpstart that recovery. But for what we can't cover, we want to connect them with like the Small Business Administration that can help provide low-interest loans.
A week before he leaves office, President Biden will speak today touting his foreign policy. The day after he talked to Israel's prime minister amid reported progress in talks with Hamas to work out a ceasefire and hostage release in Gaza. The president also spoke yesterday to relatives of 3 Americans he's trying to free from Afghanistan, including Ryan Corbett. But his wife, Anna, tells Fox,
to hear after all this effort that there is a deal on the table, there is a way to bring Ryan home, and it's not being taken is incredibly crushing to our family.
Corbett says she had a much better conversation for an hour with incoming Trump National Security Advisor Michael Waltz. The deal would be a prisoner swap with the Taliban releasing a terrorist suspect the U.S. imprisons at Guantanamo. America's listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Soon he'll be in charge. Radar is clear. It's 19 degrees and cloudy downtown, or rather I should say sunny. I'm Kurt Darling. Here's what's trending at 10:02. Mike Braun will be sworn in as Indiana's 52nd governor next hour.
I'm going to be focusing on what I bring to the table, experience, problem solving, and making Hoosiers' lives better across the board.
Braun from a press conference back in December after he beat Jennifer McCormick and Donald Rainwater in the election. His running mate Micah Beckwith will become lieutenant governor, and Todd Rokita will again be sworn in as attorney general. A standoff ends with a woman killed on the northeast side overnight. She was being held at gunpoint by a man at a home near Fall Creek in Shadeland.
We did everything that we could to have that suspect follow our commands, do exactly what we wanted him to do. Unfortunately, that did not happen. But again, this is an isolated incident. We're not looking for any other suspects.
IMPD officer William Young. 2 people arrested for shooting at a man while he was in his truck near Lafayette Sunday. David and Wendy Martinez were both tracked down and arrested by police in Lafayette, who spotted their Jeep. A canine officer smelled drugs in the car as well, so they searched it and found cocaine and a spent shell casing. A man charged with murder and the stabbing of his stepfather in
South Bend. Sasha Nixon reports.
A woman had told police that her son had stabbed her husband at the Castle Point Apartments. The victim, later identified as Lee Alexis, was taken to the hospital, but he did not survive. His stepson, Corey Young Jr., was arrested at the scene and is now charged with murder. Police believe Alexis and Young had gotten into an argument after Alexis told his stepson that he needed to be more respectful. Sasha Nixon, 93, WIBC Mobile News.
In the Indianapolis Colts search for a new defensive coordinator, they talked with Brown safeties coach Ephraim Banda last week. They're also expected to be interviewing former Bengals defensive coordinator Lou Anarumo tomorrow and former Niners defensive coordinator Steve Wilkes later this week. I'm Kirk Darling on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
Are you thinking this year I want to look and feel better and get my hair back? We Grow Hair Indy can help you do just that. I'm Rob, and I got my hair back at We Grow Hair Indy. Here's Darren Andrews, clinic director, to tell you why I chose them.
For nearly 20 years, we've helped thousands of clients grow their hair back, and we can help you. We're one of only 2 places in the entire country to offer the Artist Robotic FUE and multi-unit hair grafting.
I got multi-unit hair grafting. I love the results and cannot believe how much hair I got back. I can't recommend them enough. Call right now, 317-522-2995 for a free evaluation. Great technology, great company, great people, great results. Go to WeGrowHairIndy.com, see my results, and call 317-522-2995. 317-522-2995. Don't you want to say, I got my hair back?
This hour on 93 WIBC, powered by Family Heating and Air. Nobody cares for you like family. Your American Standard Air dealer.
You're listening to Rob Kendall.
When we talk about sending money somewhere, we're talking about printing the money because we have no money.
And Casey Daniels.
My government would never lie to me, would they?
On 93 WIBC.
Good morning. It is Monday, January 13th. It is 5 minutes after 10. You're listening to Kendall and Casey on 93 WIBC. And in just about an hour from now, Mike Braun will be sworn in as Indiana's new governor. I don't know if you saw it. Indy Star put out an opinion piece from Eric Holcomb that he wrote. He said, "We showed the world who Hoosiers are. Thank you, Indiana." And now Indiana has the momentum to achieve great success in the decades ahead.
Okay, so we're going to have Carl, Tony's producer, going to call us at 10:30. He is in the balcony. He sent me a message, and I have Carl. The thing I love about Carl, Kev will back me up on this. Carl loves to take photos of himself wherever he goes. And so he sent me photographic evidence as though I would doubt him.
Right, he checked in with a picture.
The text just could have said, I'm here. I'm in the balcony, but no, he sent me a picture of himself in the balcony to back up his claim.
And he'll probably post that on the Showbiz Carl Instagram page.
That's right. So, so we're going to talk to Carl, who is in the Hilbert Circle Theater at 10:30 to see what everything is like. All right. So, isn't it fascinating? And one of the reasons I enjoy every so often going to things like the Big Brawn Ball is it really does give you an understanding or a reminder, in my case, of how there are truly 2 factions of the Republican Party. And I don't think the average person understands this, and it's actually very important. And so what I mean by that is, in terms of if you're a donor, a lobbyist, a big corporation, an engineering firm, people who fit into that group, you've done very well the past 8 years under the Republicans. The Republican Party has been booming for business because they have spent a lot of money. They've confiscated a lot of money. They've spent a lot of money, and much of that money has directly helped a very select group of people. And so for those people, like you saw that in that room the other night, that for those people, they don't want anything to change. Oh, your property taxes are a little high? So what? That literally means nothing to those people. When you're a lobbyist, those high tippy-top people who are making $1 million or more a year, many of them obviously high hundreds of thousands of dollars. Oh, so what? My property taxes went up $500 this year. Big whoop, right? They don't want any feathers ruffled. They don't want anything changed. We are awful. Like, they hate us because we threaten the apple cart, right? So for you, a regular person, or if you're a rank and file conservative, you are completely at odds with the ruling class of the Republican Party. The Holcomb people, in Holcomb's mind, because I had a conversation over the weekend with a very, very, and this person shall remain nameless, if it were revealed that I was associating with this person, that they would be tarred and feathered. And I was asking them because they have a connection to Holcomb. Now, this is a person who's done quite well inside of the Republican Party, so I won't reveal this person, but it's almost like Biden now. Now that Holcomb's out and he's of no use to them anymore, people are starting to talk. And I said, why did all of these people get behind Holcomb? And this person told me, and this is what they said. They said, Holcomb is genuinely stupid and was too stupid to know what was going on and just did whatever he was told. And where have we heard that, Casey? Yeah. Where have you heard that for the past 8 years? They said Holcomb had no idea what he was doing. Holcomb would do whatever we, the party, the power structure, told him to do. He didn't know any better. He didn't know how to push back. He certainly didn't have the intestinal fortitude to push back. And that's why they said, have you seen Holcomb land anywhere? The answer is no. They'll give him something eventually. He's not going to end up in a soup line. But there's nobody clamoring for Holcomb. He's obviously known for 4 years he was done being governor, and yet none of these, he's not being asked to run anything because the person said he's stupid. He said he did whatever he was told, and as a part of that, the mega corporations have done quite well. The special interests have done quite well. He has protected all of the things he was told to protect at the expense of you. Now, where Braun lands, I don't know, and this is what concerns me, because Braun talks a good game. Braun does say all the right things. But when you look at who he has put as these agency heads or these secretaries, it's a lot of the same people.
Yeah. Okay. So you had even sent me that article over the weekend that you said that you were surprised by who he was appointing. And I was surprised that you were surprised.
Well, and this is where I don't know, is it enough of I can't throw everybody out in a moment's notice? I gotta, is it death by 1,000 cuts, or are they just still playing ball in terms of the status quo? Because if he does that, he will get primaried. This is the thing. Because the conservatives the conservatives were not invested in him. Eric Holcomb was appointed governor, essentially. He didn't earn it. He didn't win a primary. The last time he tried to run in a primary, he was dead last in a U.S. Senate race. He could never win on his own. He was essentially appointed governor of the state of Indiana. And his coalition was establishment liberal Republicans and Democrats are how he then got re-elected. The problem Braun has is he needs the conservatives because they're who elected him. They actually have power this time. Now, if Braun does the things, so it's the battle, the things that Braun has said,
right,
which a lot of them sound great, and Braun's actual voting record and things like the Senate, which aren't too bad, or the people who he's surrounded himself with, who appear to be, in many cases, a continuation Holcomb 3.0. Who's going to win out? Do they get new marching orders? These people, many of them are rats. I mean, they're sewer dwellers and rats, so they will do whatever it takes to survive. They don't have any core principles or belief system. So will they just do whatever they're told, or are they being told something different? We'll see. I have no idea, Casey.
Well, do you find it interesting, though, that he's picked all of these Indiana State House insiders for his administration, despite the fact that he was running on being an outsider?
Because where else are you going to hear about that but here? Where else are you going to hear about that, about who he's picking for agency heads or secretary positions? But right here, they know. Look at that event they put on, Casey. We talked about it in the first hour. Do you know what that thing costs to put on? I mean, we tallied probably 50 grand in the bar tab. I bet all in $500,000 to put that event on. You think that money grows on trees? You think those people are giving those sponsorships out of the goodness of their heart? No, they want something. And the reality is the machine has to continue to run. I am under no delusion that Braun is going to go in there and change everything. I have laid out the things that I am demanding that he change. Thus far, he's been very resolute, not only in words, but also in action, in terms of property tax reform and school choice, universal school choice. He's done those things thus far. We've been very clear with our audience. I don't sit here and go, well, I'm expecting rock rib conservatism and our government will be cut in half by the end of the first year. No. Anybody that's thinking that is delusional. And as long as he follows through, then we'll pick new things next year to go after to try to make it better incrementally. But I don't know which way Braun is going to go, and we'll find out very, very quickly, because all the big things are on the table this year. The budget is on the table. The property tax deal is on the table. The universal school choice is on the. All of these things are going to be decided this year. So we're going to find out very, very quick whether it was lip service or whether it is a guy that's serious about reforming our state government.
Okay, so his inauguration coming up in about 45 minutes. Carl's there. We're going to check in with him. But Donald Trump has released his inaugural plans for the weekend.
Are you going?
I got to talk with Matt about that when we get off the air. I'm debating it.
You have to go.
Right?
It's a presidential inauguration.
Yeah, I was invited to go.
You're an events person, Casey.
Right?
You go to events. You have to go to this.
I told Matt, I said, I'll go. I think it'd be really cool. I could do some, on-site reporting for the show, for the station, but I don't want to have to use like a vacation day while I'm gone. Like, don't penalize me while I'm still working.
No. They let cats go to all of that stuff. He disappears for days at a time. I'm at the conservative pundit luncheon or whatever thing he goes to.
I also have to check the weather.
And you're not even asking for money. You're just asking, I'll spend my own money to go. I just don't want to have to take a day off.
Well, I told him, I've got a place to stay there, so it's not like I need hotel or any of that. Like, I'll pay my own way.
Yeah.
Just let me go. So we'll see what they say.
Sure. Well, they if they don't, that's very wrong, because you're not asking for anything. You're just asking, I don't want to have to take one of my days off to contribute to the radio station.
Right. That's it exactly. So on Monday, January 20th, the day starts with Donald Trump at St. John's Church service. And then they have tea at the White House.
Tea?
Tea at the White House. Yep.
Are you a tea? Like, is this like a Starbucks tea, or is this like a Queen of England tea?
I think it's more like a Queen of England sort of tea.
Oh, yeah. You ever had, Kev, you're a world traveler. You ever had tea?
High tea?
Yeah, I like tea. I have tea occasionally.
I've never had a tea of any sort.
Really?
No.
We're not talking Long Island iced
Well,
teas.
I've had a Long Island. I've had many of those. But
yeah.
And
then you've got the swearing-in ceremony, and that's what everybody's invited to outside in the mall. And then the farewell to Joe and Jill Biden.
There's a farewell?
There is a farewell.
Is this a swift boot up their butt cracks? Is that the farewell?
Yeah. And they've got the U.S. Capitol departure ceremony. And then the president's signing room ceremony.
What?
And then Trump will review the troops, and then the parade, and then the Oval Office signing ceremony at the White House, and then the Commander-in-Chief ball, and then the Liberty inaugural ball, and then the Starlight ball. There will be 3 balls on January 20th.
Here's what I would do if I were governor or I were president. There's a famous clip. So obviously the NFL draft is like a huge thing now. They have they're in different cities every year now. But it used to be that it was in the Radio City Music Hall in New York for a long time. It's become this juggernaut where it does huge ratings and everything else. But in the 80s with the NFL draft, it was on television, but it wasn't near the thing it was now. And I believe this was Thurman Thomas. Thurman Thomas was a Hall of Fame running back for the Buffalo Bills, was on all those great Bills teams. And at one point, he's waiting for his name to be called. And I'm trying to remember this, and if it's off, somebody can correct me on this. But he's waiting for his name to be called. I think this was 1989. And he's just bored. You can just tell with the whole thing and being around all these people in his house and everything else. And he, at one point, is like, I'm going to Burger King. Just let me know where I get drafted when I get back.
Right.
And this is the pre-cell phone days, right?
Let me know when it's over.
The guy could just shut himself off to the world. Joe Thomas, who's a Hall of Fame lineman, he went fishing with his dad one time. Like, that would be me. You get sworn in, I'm going to Burger King. You guys do whatever you want to do. I don't want to be a part of it. You think Trump's like all jazzed up that he has to have tea with someone?
Well, there's also a congressional luncheon, and you have to wonder, is he going to have McDonald's there?
All right.
You're like, give me a Big Mac and a Diet Coke.
Hey, when we come back, I have observed some social media etiquette or behavior, and I have to ask you and Kevin if this is proper etiquette. Is this just the new world in which we live?
Okay. It's Kendall Casey. It's 93 WIBC.
Another update is just minutes away.
Wind chills are dropping temperatures into the single digit
to perhaps even below zero on Tuesday night.
Your community.
14-year-old girl was shot and killed on Saturday, found lying in the snow.
Law enforcement agency to do everything that we can to hold those individuals accountable.
So far, no arrests.
Hear the news.
Notre Dame will square off against Ohio State in next Monday's national title game.
This is about this opportunity that lies right ahead of us.
93 WIBC Mobile News.
If you have chronic joint pain in your knees, hips, or shoulders, who can you turn to? How about real people with pain just like yours who discovered QC Kinetics?
Came to QC Kinetics. I had a lot of issues with my shoulders and neck. I am excited at the progress, being able to throw footballs with the grandkids.
My name is Jake. Was skeptical at first, but now after my procedures, I'm almost 100%.
Tens of thousands of patients are pain-free again with no surgery, no drugs, and no downtime, thanks to a groundbreaking regenerative therapy that uses your body's own healing agents to revitalize damaged tissue. For a free consultation, call 463-292-1742.
I'm able to do the things that I wasn't able to do for a long time.
I have absolutely no pain. The whole process is just fantastic.
I'm feeling on top of the world because of QC Kinetics.
Find out if you're a candidate for regenerative therapy today. For a free consultation, call 463-292-1742. 463-292-1742.
Your home is your sanctuary. Get the peace of mind you deserve with a free estimate on a Generac automatic standby generator for your home from Generator Supercenter, the nation's #1 Generac generator dealer. With expert installation and 24-hour monitoring, Generator Supercenter won't leave you in the dark. Financing is available. Take control of your power today with Generator Supercenter. Call 317-827-0808. Generator Supercenter of Indianapolis, 317-827-0808.
It's the new year. Time to make a positive change in your life.
I went to My Computer Career because I needed job security.
Because I wanted a career in cybersecurity.
I went to My Computer Career because IT jobs are everywhere.
My old job was going nowhere.
I went because I didn't want college loans for the rest of my life.
Because I wanted a career for the rest of my life.
Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation today. Financial aid available for qualified students, including the GI Bill. 529 college savings plans accepted. Not available in Washington State.
Want to play a game with me and Dad?
Mommy's not feeling good.
You need to vaporize that cold.
Vaporize?
Yeah, with Dayquil VapoCool. It's Dayquil plus a rush of Vicks vapors.
Whoa.
Come on, honey. Let's let Mommy rest.
You guys are amazing. And so is Dayquil VapoCool.
Dayquil VapoCool, the vaporizing daytime coughing, aching, fever, power through your day medicine. And to vaporize sore throat pain, try Vicks VapoCool drops. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Go where the pros go. Drexel Interiors. For 1951 cabinetry, visit Drexel's Kitchen and Bath Design Centers at 146th and River Road, North Shadeland, or DrexelIN.com.
All right, I got a online behavior etiquette question for you because you spend a lot of time on the internet.
Sure.
And you're in with all the pop culture people. And
Yeah.
Kev, you can chime in on this as well because you're a young person. So I've started to see more and more of these interviews. And, you know, the mistake is like you click on one thing to listen to it, and then you just get inundated with things that are similar, even if you're like, I'm just interested in hearing this one
You're talking
thing.
about the algorithm is
Right,
working.
the algorithm, yes, thank you. And so it may not even, you may have been clicking on something to hear something else related, but if that's the focal point of what the person's talking about, then you just start getting inundated no matter how long, and then you can't get rid of it. It's like Hotel California. You can check out anytime you'd like, but you can never leave.
Right.
And it seems like more and more these people, these women, who I would describe as they're known people, but they're known for their low moral standing. Like they get on these podcasts or whatever because they're well assembled and they've had relations with someone famous.
Okay.
Like your fame is your assemblage.
Yeah.
You are a thing because of your assemblage, right? Does
Right.
that
You
make
haven't done anything.
Does that make sense? Right.
Other than look good.
Correct. And you're not an actor. You're not even like Taylor Swift, or you're a singer. You're nothing. You're known for your thing. And
A mattress actress?
Is that what they call it?
Is that what you're referring to?
Nice, Kevin.
That's well done. I like that. And they're talking about these intimate encounters they've had with famous men or the correspondence they've had with famous men. And first of all, if he's a famous man, if you're getting into bed with one of these sea urchins, then you probably shouldn't, this is not Mother Teresa here, right? You're not dealing with the most upstanding or trustworthy amongst us. And clearly these people are glory hounds and they seek publicity and they seek fame. And, this is the society in which we live. But I'm watching this going, okay, you had an intimate encounter or encounters, plural, with this person. It's certainly these people have had something that resembles a relationship with these people. They haven't done anything wrong to you. It's not like they've blabbed about you or they've stolen your most prized possessions or they've done anything nefarious to you. And now you're out talking about this connection that you had or feelings that you had or whatever, and you're basically profiteering.
Yeah.
Or profiting, I guess I should say, off of
the relationship, the engagement.
Yeah, these intimate encounters that you had with someone who has done nothing wrong to you. And am I just so old-fashioned going, that's a pretty, I was going to say something and I caught myself, it's a pretty crummy, that makes you a pretty crummy human being to be talking about, because you're not perfect either, right?
Yeah.
And that person didn't violate your trust, and yet here you are talking about details.
Kissing and telling?
Right. Yes, thank you, yes. You're talking about intimate, private encounters that you had, and thus part of why society, nobody trusts anybody anymore. I don't know. Am I just totally off my rocker with this?
Well, I think you hit on it when you said, they don't offer anything besides they're famous for their looks.
Right.
So obviously that's all they have. And they're being a guest on these podcasts or these shows. What are they going to talk about? What do they have other than their encounters with famous people? And that's ear candy. That's clickbait for. It's why they're being scheduled on these shows to talk about that.
So
stuff.
we are to blame, because if we weren't watching,
if you weren't consuming,
yeah. And part of the issue now is because there's no journalistic standard by these podcasts or whatever. They're literally selling salacious salacious announcements, details of intimate behavior that people wouldn't experience on their own.
And the audience is gobbling it up. That's why they're getting engagement on the podcast, because the D-list actress is talking about her encounter with someone famous.
And so I do wonder down the line, how far rather down the line this actually goes, to where do regular people watch this, your age, and they say, well, I'm not famous, but I don't want people talking about, intimate moments that I've shared with someone. So I'm just more hesitant to engage in any sort of trust or intimacy with people for fear that somebody's going to talk about me.
Yeah, it's definitely an abuse of trust.
Yeah.
And I don't even think it's particularly a thing that anyone wants to hear about, really. It's not really interesting to hear what someone's like in bed, I don't think.
I don't know. I think a lot of people get a lot of views on TikTok and
there's
other areas.
Well, yeah, I guess
they're spilling the tea.
There's an audience for
there's no doubt. I think, but Kevin is a decent member of humanity. Like, Kevin strikes me as the sort of guy you could give him your bank code and everything would be fine, right?
Social security number, everything.
I mean, Kev could be the person that you could tell things to, but the point is Kevin was raised to be a decent member of humanity, and clearly so many of these people are
not like that. I'm more surprised that there's not more famous people that when you engage in a relationship, they make the partner sign an NDA.
Oh, totally.
I mean, I know some do, but I'm not surprised it's like not just all the time.
Yeah, totally. I mean, if you're a celebrity, and I guess though maybe another part of it is too, shouldn't you be learning your lesson about hopping into bed with all these sea urchins and then maybe like try to build an actual relationship with someone who you might learn a little something about?
It is surprising, though, the intimate details that they'll put out there.
Well, yeah. All right, we got to take a break. Carl's going to join us from the inauguration when we come back.
It's Kendall and Casey on 93 WIBC.
Attention timeshare owners. This is an urgent consumer alert from the Timeshare Exit Hotline, a national company specializing in helping consumers legally get out of their expensive timeshare contracts. We're offering you a way to legally get rid of your timeshare. So if you're fed up with the maintenance fees that keep on coming and want to learn if you can terminate your timeshare legally and permanently, call today. Even if you've tried before and were unsuccessful in getting rid of your timeshare, call today and see if we can help. We offer a complete 100% unconditional client satisfaction guarantee. Make this completely free call and learn how we can help you legally put an end to your timeshare nightmare once and for all. You have nothing to lose, so call right now to qualify and receive a free consultation.
Call 800-838-8614. 800-838-8614. That's 800-838-8614.
Paid for by Airtime Media.
One of the real advantages that we have here at Hendricks is the scope of the services that we have to offer in orthopedics.
Whether they have a hip fracture or they're a high-functioning athlete, we're all working towards the same thing.
To have them be able to have an elective surgery safely and then go home also in a safe fashion is of utmost importance.
We very much want everyone to get back to doing everything that they were doing beforehand. We're really invested in it.
Unstoppable orthopedic care. Learn more at hendricks.org/ortho.
Dents happen. There's a whole lot of stuff that can mess up the look of your vehicle. Don't paint your car. Go PDR with Kill a Dent Removal. PDR is paintless dent removal. It saves your factory finish and is way less invasive than traditional body shop repairs. And it's faster too, sometimes same day. Google Kill a Dent Removal and check out the reviews and photos. Then schedule your repair. Hail baseballs, kids, fender benders, shopping carts, flying cows, angry X's, and anything else that leaves dents. Don't paint your car. Go PDR with Kill a Dent Removal.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level. On the go.
It might get worse. Radar is clear. It's 19 degrees and sunny downtown. I'm Kurt Darling. Here's what's trending at 10:30. Dangerous winds are forecast to return to Southern California as wildfires there continue to burn. 24 people have been killed so far, with California Governor Gavin Newsom saying that there are likely to be more. The Palisades fire is just 13% contained. The Eaton fire, 27%, and the Hearst fire is almost completely contained. An earthquake felt in Japan. Fox's Jonathan Savage.
The magnitude of the quake was 6.9 according to Japan's meteorological agency. The epicenter just off the coast of the southern Miyazaki prefecture. It's not clear yet whether there's any significant damage, but nearby nuclear power plants report everything is fine with them. Japan is frequently hit by earthquakes, sometimes followed by deadly tsunamis. Jonathan Savage, Fox News.
A march to protest the upcoming inauguration of President-elect Donald Trump will be happening in Washington, D.C. this weekend. Thousands are expected to attend the People's March, as it's being called. I'm Kirk Darling, on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
Heating and air conditioning can be the largest investment you make in your home. Here at Family, we pride ourselves in offering many flexible options.
Family Heating and Air is your trusted local independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
Hey guys, it's Rob from my friends at Universal Windows Direct, and I don't know if you've noticed, it's been a tad cold the past week. And have you seen the weather forecast? Oh, you thought it was cold before? That's cute. Well, if you're cold in your own home, it could be because of your windows. And right now, Universal Windows Direct has a great deal going on. For every 2 windows you buy, you're going to get the next 2 free, no limit, and 36 months of interest-free financing. That's 3 years to pay for your windows without a single cent of interest. Now, some restrictions could apply. So to get all the details, call Universal Windows Direct today, 317-659-7574, 317-659-7574. Oh, yeah, and if you've already received a quote from another company, bring it to Universal Windows Direct, and they'll beat it. 317-659-7574, or schedule your free in-home estimate online, universalwindowsdirect.com. universalwindowsdirect.com. Tell them Rob sent you.
It's not easy being a high schooler these days.
We juggle a lot each day between schoolwork, activities, jobs, and friends.
On top of all that, we're multi-sport student athletes. I'm Danae Klein, and I play volleyball, basketball, and softball for South Putnam High School.
And I'm Tyler Stanger, a wrestler and track and field student athlete at East Central High School.
It's hard physically and mentally exhausting yourself in practice.
It's hard coming back and doing it again the next day and the next and the next.
It's hard competing at a high level week in and week out.
But life is hard, and high school sports prepare us for it.
With every practice, every game, every win, and every loss.
I'm IHSAA Commissioner Paul Neidig. Be a champion of high school sports and the life lessons they teach by buying a ticket to your high school's athletic events. This is developing character, perseverance, and work ethic. This is preparing for life. This is your IHSAA.
Indiana wants me. Lord, I can't go back there. Here we go, Casey. It's Kendall Casey Show. I'm Rob. Casey's here. We're about 30 minutes or so away from the big inauguration of Mike Braun, the next governor of the state of Indiana. 30 minutes till we're done with Holcomb. Micah is going to get sworn in as well. And joining us from the Hilbert Circle Theater, you know him as the producer for Tony Katz, one of the great members of the state of Indiana and WIBC. Producer Carl, hello.
Hello, Rob and Casey. Good to be here to give you a literal bird's eye view of the inauguration that's about to happen. All the power brokers are here. I've seen Governor Holcomb, and Raju is even here. He just passed.
Raju, all right, Carl. So, Carl, it sounds like you're at the Super Bowl there, that you're at the Rolling Stones concert. Tell us about the crowd. Are the people filing in?
It's a packed house, and what I will tell you is that I've been at these events before. There is a genuine sense of jubilation because going against what happened in the last 8 years, there is a sense that it won't be business as usual. Thanks to your show, that we might actually get property taxes reduced. So I just really do sense there is a sense of jubilation and happiness this day.
Now, the venue capacity is about 1,600. How many people would you say are there right now?
Well, they're still filing in. So I would say maybe half by now.
Now, give us,
But
Carl.
a lot of people will arrive probably right at 11.
All right, Carl. Now, give us a lay of the platform. Kind of tell us, how does it look? Like, what's the stage? Kind of set us up for us how the inauguration is going to be conducted.
Paint a picture, Carl.
Well, think about it. So this is usually where the ISO, the Indianapolis Symphony Orchestra, performs. So it's an orchestra. So there's a lot of seats up front. There is some sort of podium where people will speak, where the inauguration will take place. Right at the moment, I'm in the hallway because I don't want to get kicked out. My voice is so loud, I'll probably get kicked out if I'm speaking from the seats. But I have really good seats. I have bird's eye seats down below what's going on.
Now, Carl, were these seats assigned, or was this like getting to a Springsteen concert where you just make a mad dash once the gates open, and if you get run over, we'll let your wife know you didn't make it?
I'm with the glorious press.
Oh, special seats for the...
Which is probably a reason why I'm speaking outside as opposed to speaking with the press themselves.
Now, do they have, concession stands open in there? Is the place where you get yourself some popcorn and a soda?
No open bar.
No Long Island iced teas served, huh?
No.
Okay. Now, you had said that you see Eric Holcomb there.
Yes.
Who else? Go ahead.
Yeah, so I've seen Eric Holcomb, and he's very easy to spot because he's very tall. Mm-hmm. So far, the only other politician that I've seen other than Governor Holcomb is Raju. Raju just passed me again.
Yeah, just look for a great big guy imitating Colonel Sanders, like a giant Colonel Sanders. That's all you're looking for Holcomb these days.
What does the stage look like, Carl?
Right now, let me step up there for a second here.
By the way, producer Carl from Tony Katz Show is if you're just joining us, he is in the Hilbert Circle Theater for the inauguration.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Carl.
I just looked in. There's an orchestra that's literally sitting in the orchestra seats. So that's what's going on right now on the stage.
It's interesting.
All right. Can you take video? Is it can you pull out your cellular telephone at some point and film this?
Yeah, I can take video and send it to you guys.
Oh, perfect. Excellent. Yeah. Okay. So Carl is going to be there. He's going to be there for the whole thing. If anything unpredictable, breaks out, if Holcomb refuses to leave office, if, Braun has to send in the National Guard to get him out of there, Carl will report live for us. Producer Carl, live at the inauguration. You're the best. Thank you, my friend.
Thank you.
You know who left office on this date in 1989?
Ronald Reagan.
Ronald Reagan, yeah.
Well, I think it was a couple days ago now, but yes, it was 1989.
Yeah, January 11th.
Yeah.
You're correct. And he delivered his farewell address to the nation. And Reagan would leave office with a 68% job approval rating, one of the highest.
So my dad and I saw this clip on Twitter that we're going to play, and I saw this yesterday, and I said, first of all, you will never, ever, ever, ever see in the modern political era a president leave office with even a 60% approval rating. It just won't happen. The country's too partisan, too divided, much less 68%. It's unbelievable. But I saw this clip, and this clip was so, I mean, look, Reagan was obviously a trained actor, and he was a phenomenal speaker, and he was incredibly gifted at delivering a message. But this clip was sort of what, when you talk to people who were around for the Reagan Revolution and were alive, as you know, my parents were you know, in their early 30s, and you know, during the Reagan, their 20s. It was 20s when it started, and then their early 30s when it ended. And you hear about this sense of optimism in the country that we came out of this dark period. And by the way, it didn't happen right away. People think, you know, Reagan gets elected and, you know, oh, everything's better. There were about 3 or 4 years it took really into that buildup of his running for re-election in 1984 to where the country kind of really got on a positive, you know, sense of movement. But it was the optimism, right? Of like, hey, things are going to get better. Even when they weren't getting better, you believed in Reagan that he was going to make them better. And this is where Trump has an opportunity to be like this, be this all over again. But he cannot be the same Trump that he's been as a campaigner and the same Trump that he's been as the president the first time, because so much of it, can you picture Ronald Reagan fighting on social media with Rosie O'Donnell?
No, not at all.
Right? And so part of this is, I'm going to play you this clip because it is from his farewell address. Trump has got to really keep that front and center, the idea that America needs optimism now, and he has the opportunity to be that.
It's been the honor of my life to be your president. So many of you have written the past few weeks to say thanks, but I could say as much to you. Nancy and I are grateful for the opportunity you gave us to serve. As I walk off into the city streets, a final word to the men and women of the Reagan Revolution, the men and women across America who for 8 years did the work that brought America back. My friends, we did it. We weren't just marking time, we made a difference. We made the city stronger, we made the city freer, and we left her in good hands. All in all, not bad.
All right, so one of the things you noticed that he did there, and Reagan was great at this, was the idea of we. The Reagan Revolution, we. And he wasn't talking about we about his administration. He was talking about we. You, the people. It wasn't, you know, it's Trump. It's me, 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 me. It's all the time. But that's all it ever is with Trump. It's me, me, I did this, blah, blah, blah. Hey, look, I'm the same way. But that's why I don't want to leave radio, right? I don't want to be a politician again because I like bragging about myself. But with Reagan, it was always us, and not us in the administration. It was us
as Americans,
as the country, right? And with Trump, he's got the opportunity to do that now because America is in such a tough place. And the idea that people are longing for the idea of not only do we want a solution, but we want to be a part of that solution, and America together can achieve this.
Well, his legacy still inspires so many people today, right? With his commitment to freedom. And also he talked about limited government, but it was, as you mentioned, a beacon of hope. And it doesn't seem like leaders now understand that. You know, it's such big government now. And back then you believed what he was saying to you.
Well, and so much of, you think about, you know, God's role in American history, and we've talked at length about, you go back to that America itself is the big bang of politics and government, that there's no way that all of these, some of those brilliant people in the history of the world lived together at the same time and were put around a common cause. And think of all the amazing things that so many millions of people have been gifted and given because God put all of those people together. And you think about throughout American history, God has always blessed America with the leader that they needed in the moment that they needed him, whether it's Lincoln or FDR from a military perspective during World War II or Reagan in the 1980s. And you hope that Trump takes heed of that, takes note of that, and is willing to say, I am going to be the leader that America needs in this moment, like Reagan was in the 1980s. And one of the things that Reagan did very well between Pope John Paul and Margaret Thatcher, and many people know my daughter's middle name is Thatcher for Margaret Thatcher because she's probably the greatest female leader in the history of the world, and the bigness and the boldness that she stood for. And I hope that's always a reminder to my daughter to be big and be bold and stand for great things. Is he was a coalition builder. People don't realize this about Reagan. Yes, he was very forceful with the Soviets, but he could be because he had coalition built with arguably the two most important people in the world outside of himself at that moment, which is Margaret Thatcher and Pope John Paul. And so many things Trump can do if he's willing to put others ahead of himself. And that's a real struggle for Trump. And I think a lot of his presidency this time is going to depend on the ability to do that.
It is Kendall and Casey. It's 93 WIBC, and Hammer is going to join us next.
Hammer and Nigel show, 3 o'clock this afternoon. The biggest stories in Indy. Monday Gun Day with Guy Relford, and we're going to have a lot of fun. Jeff Boggs is in for Nigel, 93 WIBC.
Hey guys, it's Rob for We Grow Hair Indy, and man, it's hard to believe it's been 4 years ago now that I went to We Grow Hair Indy and got my confidence back. And the great thing about going to We Grow Hair Indy is I see the results every time I look in the mirror. You see it in photos. It's just a continual, it's the gift that keeps on giving, as one famous movie once described something. And here's how it works. You call today, 317-522-2995, 317-522-2995. Schedule your totally free, no hassle, no obligation consultation. They'll take a look at what's going on, top of your head, and then they'll give you some possibilities about how to get your hair back. Then you make the choice. In the meantime, you can see how other people got their confidence back and their hair back by heading over to WeGrowHairIndy.com. WeGrowHairIndy.com, 317-522-2995. WeGrowHairIndy.com. Tell them Rob sent you.
Texting enrolls you in a recurring automated marketing text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
The team's looking good this season.
I think so. Man, I miss playing football. Being young with unlimited energy to burn. Ever since I turned 40, I just can't find that fire I used to have.
Think you could be lower testosterone?
What do you mean?
All guys lose their edge when they turn 40. The body has less testosterone. That's why I take Nugenix Total T.
I've heard about Nugenix. That really works?
Since I started taking Nugenix, I'm lifting like when we played for Coach Carter. I feel more energized at work. It's even spiced up things between me and the missus.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try?
Yep, send a text. It's that easy.
Text DANDY to 42424 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T. It's the #1 selling testosterone boosting brand at GNC and Walmart. Do it now and they'll also send you a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, their newest, most powerful fat burner ever, absolutely free. Text DANDY to 42424. That's DANDY to 42424.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
According to industry experts, heating costs are going up again this year, up to 23%. If you're tired of turning up the heat in the morning and the furnace working overtime, it's time to call Window Nation.
50% off all style of windows. Plus, you don't pay anything. No interest for 2 years. Call right now, 866-90-NATION, or go to windownation.com. windownation.com. Be sure to tell them Hammer and Nigel sent you.
Whether you're tinkering in your garage or tackling big projects, if you know the value of working with your hands, you know Harbor Freight. And you can be confident knowing that at Harbor Freight, you can get quality tools at prices that work just as hard as you do. Because the only thing more satisfying than a job well done is a job well done, well under budget. Whatever you do it for less at Harbor Freight.
Why not start 2025 with a great new deal from Tom Roush Lincoln? Select 2024 Lincoln Navigators, now $12,000 off, and get 0% for 60 months. How about an all-new 2024 Lincoln Nautilus, now $6,000 off with rates starting at 4.9% for 60 months. So start the new year with a new car from Tom Roush Lincoln in Fishers.
Lincoln Navigator MSRP $104,200. Lincoln Nautilus MSRP $61,695. Offers good through January 31st, 2025. Subject to credit approval. See dealer for complete offer details.
Hey, it's Big Joe for your trusted local independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer, Kirby Heating and Air Conditioning. Owner Robert Kirby thinks his team's expertise and low-pressure approach enhances the customer experience.
We give our customers options, whether it be repair or replacement, which type of equipment they want to use for comfort, efficiency. So we'll give multiple options for our customers, and they can pick the best option for them.
Join the Kirby team at KirbyHeating.com. Kirby Heating and Air Conditioning is your trusted local independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
Want to find out what real retirement planning is all about? Tune in to Expedition Retirement with Greg Ayler, Sunday mornings at 7 on WIBC.
Check out what's going on with 93 WIBC.
Listen to Hammer and Nigel all week for your chance to win a pair of tickets to see Elvis Tribute Spectacular, January 24th at Old National Center.
More info online at WIBC.com.
He's joining us from the #1 rated Hammer and Nigel show. Jason Hammer, good morning.
Good morning. So how does one end up being invited to the presidential inauguration?
Well, I went to the rally in Butler, Pennsylvania. And so my name got on a list, and I'm assuming that's how it is. Donald Trump did send me a message, and he said something along the lines of, I was the biggest supporter in this area.
Okay. I didn't know if you had to sleep with Chip Roy or, do something.
No.
Okay.
No, he called me a patriot and he said, you've been identified as one of the most active Trump supporters in your area. To thank you, we're honoring you. I got a prestigious Lifetime Achievement Award from Donald Trump.
Oh, look at that.
Right. And then, an invitation to go to the inauguration. However, it's not so exclusive because the invitation is the one that's on the National Mall where anybody can go.
It's not like you're going to be inside the party, shaking hands.
I'm not at the
senators.
Congressional luncheon.
Right. But that's still cool, though.
This is the outdoor event.
You totally got to go. If you have the opportunity to go and you are cleared to be there, I think you have to do it.
Now, here's what I'm thinking, and Rob disagrees with me on this. D.C. in the morning, hop on a 3:30 flight in the afternoon, fly to Atlanta, and be there for the national championship football game.
There's no way she makes it. There's no way that all the flights are on time. There's no way you make it.
Yeah, I agree. The security stuff leaving out of D.C. is going to be forever long.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think you got to pick one. Given my options here,
You go to the game?
Inauguration.
You'd go to the
you guys went to this big fancy dress-up butt sniffer event over the weekend.
You were missed, by the way. A bunch of people asked where they said so they didn't let Hammer wear his blue tuxedo.
No.
So we're told we have no listeners, but apparently a couple people heard that.
Now if that is your guys' thing, knock yourself out.
No, it's not our thing. We just will never get invited again. We have accepted that we will never get asked again. So we needed we'll always have the story about the time we were down in the front row.
Right.
At the governor's ball.
I would have liked to have gone to support Micah, and
Sure.
I like Mike Braun, always been great to our show, and again, we're going to have him on once a month here, for the rest of the year, but if given the option of staying at home and eating White Castle and drinking and gambling on sports and putting on a monkey suit and going there and hanging out.
I do that every time I go.
You know where I'm at.
I do that every time I go somewhere, and I did that the night of the ball. Okay, this is cool. Get to go do it. And then it dawned on me, I don't know, Wednesday or whatever it was. Well, that's the first night of the NFL playoffs. I wish I hadn't gone because I'd rather be sitting at home watching the NFL playoffs.
Which is what he did.
Now, if you guys want to hang out with real Americans who like to party, this Thursday at the Ale Emporium,
we go.
The Hammer and Nigel show live. We start our show at 3, and that is the date. That is the location where the Hammer and Nigel show tequila by Hiatus hits the market for the first time.
Fantastic.
Will there be any alcohol being served at this event?
Oh, Rob.
Silly.
Yes, there will be. And
some samples.
We are going to have a good time. Let's pack that joint, man, and rumors have it you may be out there for a live Off the Rails.
I might do that. I got to find out if make sure that wife can watch Pee-wee on her own that day. But if can, then I'll I'm a big fan. I'm your original fan. I used to go to the Barcast all the time.
You did. You were a regular.
At the Coach's Tavern. Boy, those were some times, right?
And I don't want to jump the shark here.
Yeah.
There's rumors of a live Hammer and Nigel show, Coach's Tavern podcast reunion show this year.
So for those of you who don't know, Jason and Nigel had this great little week. It was weekly, right?
Yes.
Yeah, it was weekly at Coach's Tavern. They'd get up on if you ever been to Coach's Tavern, they got like a platform up there, and they would get up on the platform and do a live show, and they would always have some sort of celebrity guest who they would basically interview. I was their guest one time. I was told there were other people got limos, other people got
Yes, we had great sponsorship. Chicken Limo was involved with us.
I didn't get any of that. I had to park and pay for my own parking.
You just show up.
Yeah.
We had to be selective with the limo. Slick Leonard got the limo.
My favorite story is I was on twice as one of your guests, and one of the times was with our friend who played for the Colts for many, many years.
Yes.
And this person was still single at the time. They're very happily married now, and I'm not saying they've done anything nefarious, but I'm standing there next to him, and I'm looking at his phone, and these messages this guy is getting.
Yeah.
I mean, it was just women offering to do unspeakable things. And finally, I just look at him and go, can I just have one? You can't have all of these. Can I just one? Like a freebie? Like, come on, what are we doing here?
Can somebody have to go through me to get to you?
I'm like was it
You be the
Turtle in
gatekeeper?
Entourage? Yeah, I'm the turtle. I was just like, what? And he goes, oh, this is every day
This
for me.
is nothing.
And this guy it wasn't Peyton Manning. It wasn't, Marvin Harrison. This person was a fine gentleman and a scholar and has been very nice to all of us. But it was like, you're as rank and file as you can get.
Right.
Can you imagine what, Peyton Manning before he was married's inbox must have looked like or what? I mean, come on. What are we doing here?
He's got a big wallet.
Yeah, and that was fun. And rumors, again, nothing is confirmed yet. We're going to have the big coaches reunion show, but this Thursday, it is on like Donkey Kong. Get your butts up to Ale Emporium. And the last time we had a bottle of liquor that hit the market, it sold out in like a day.
That's right.
So you better get there Thursday. Also, we're helping some charity out here. We're not just degenerates. So if you go to the Hammer and Nigel Show merchandise store, store.hammerandnigel.com, the I love or I hate Rob Kendall t-shirts.
That's right.
Rob and I don't make a single penny off this. We donate the money to Project Rescue.
Yes, to fight human sex trafficking across the globe. I make nothing. You can tell people how much you hate me, and no, I don't get anything out of it.
If you buy a shirt between now and January 31st, one, you'll get it by Valentine's Day.
Nice.
And two, 15% off.
And if you give your wife an I love or I hate Rob Kendall t-shirt, she will probably remove her underwear for you on the spot.
On the spot.
Automatic panty dropper, huh?
What's coming up this afternoon?
This may shock you, but Nigel's out today.
What?
So not Kenny Rogers is in. It's Monday Gun Day with Guy Relford, and we got the biggest stories of the day.
Thanks, Hammer. It's Kendall and Casey on 93 WIBC.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 50-year-old male, maybe a bit porky, and you may even have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. Call Term Provider. Speak with Big Lou at 800-239-1749. Big Lou will find a term life policy for you even if you have type 2 diabetes, are overweight, or have high blood pressure. Term Provider has helped thousands of people like you who think they can't afford term life insurance. To buy $1 million of affordable term life for you, all you need to do is call Big Lou at 800-239-1749. Lou will make sure the scales are tipped in your favor. Call 800-239-1749. Big Lou will answer your call and work to fit you into a term life policy that you can afford. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds too. Call 800-239-1749, 800-239-1749, or biglou.com.
Attention. If you suffer from consistent pain in your joints caused by arthritis, overuse, or injury, you may be a candidate for a revolutionary therapy that could revitalize damaged tissue. This approach can provide long-lasting relief from pain in your knees, shoulders, hips, and other joints with no surgery, no drugs, and no downtime. To find out if you're a viable candidate, you may request a free consultation from QC Kinetics by calling 463-251-1912. Instead of masking the symptoms, it goes to the root of the problem to resolve it at its source. Already used by thousands of satisfied patients nationwide, this joint pain therapy is available right now to the public, but only for qualified candidates. Again, to find out if you're a viable candidate for this therapy, you may request a free consultation by calling QC Kinetics at 463-251-1912. That's 463-251-1912.
At Shane Company, we make finding your perfect engagement ring fun and easy. Because let's be honest, you might feel a little stressed out. We get it. That's why we do all the hard stuff. It's our job to bring you the biggest selection of beautiful diamonds and colorful gemstones, so many amazing settings, and all the customization your heart desires. We've got your style and your price range covered, and we're here to guide you every step of the way. Come in for a warm welcome and leave with your dream ring and an experience you'll never forget. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
Hey, can you blow up some balloons for Jack's party?
I can't. I'm so congested.
You need Sinex Saline from Vicks.
Sinex Saline Nasal Spray?
Yeah, just Sinex. Breathe.
Sinex Saline instantly clears everyday congestion associated with colds and year-round allergies with a gentle, ultra-fine mist that's no mess and easy to control.
Daddy, we need more balloons.
On it.
Enjoy life's important moments without congestion. Try Sinex Saline from Vicks. Just Sinex. Breathe. Use as directed.
Hi, I'm Scott Wilson, third-generation owner of Wilson Farm Market, just 15 minutes north of 465 on 31. If you are looking for your source of homegrown, locally made, know where your food's coming from, we are your spot. We have hand-dipped ice cream, 130 different kinds of cheese. We fry chicken, just a little bit of everything, a foodie's heaven. Wilson Farm Market, where good taste runs in the family. Just 15 minutes north of 465, right on US 31.
City water or well water, get better water with C&J. You just can't find anybody better than the pros at C&J. Great systems and great people, too. Just call them, 317-733-SOFT.
Go where the pros go. Drexel Interiors for 1951 cabinetry. Visit Drexel's Kitchen and Bath Design Centers at 146th and River Road, North Shadeland, or drexelin.com.
Coming up in 2 minutes, a new governor of Indiana is being sworn in this hour. Plus, Ryan Hedrick reports on a standoff that ended with a woman killed this morning. And a man has been arrested for stalking this high-profile Indiana Fever player. I'm Kurt Darling. That and more coming up from the Technology Recycler Studios after Fox News Radio. You're listening to 93 WIBC, WIBC HD1 Indianapolis. It's 11 o'clock.
Amid all the wildfire devastation, despair. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News.
All we have is the memories that we've created as a family because the material stuff is gone. I mean, I was there and it was just gone.
Robert Lara's house burned down in Altadena. So did his mom's and his uncle's. Among the 12,000 plus houses and buildings charred in a disaster that's left at least 24 people dead. And it could get worse with two wildfires still not well contained.
The National Weather Service warning that winds between 45 to 70 miles per hour are expected between early tomorrow morning and into Wednesday at noon.
Fox Business's Max Gordon says in the charred ruins of Pacific Palisades, there's also still a lot of dry brush.
If an ember catches one of these bushes, it can just go up in an instant and spread the flames even further.
There are reports of progress on a possible ceasefire and hostage release to stop Israel and Hamas's war in Gaza, something President Biden may bring up in a speech today touting his foreign policy. The president had a phone call yesterday with Israel's prime minister, and Fox's Jared Halpern reports from the White House he also talked to relatives of 3 Americans held prisoner in Afghanistan.
The president spoke with families as details emerged of a possible prisoner exchange that would free a former associate of Osama bin Laden detained at Guantanamo Bay. But that deal, President Biden told families, is stalled because the Taliban denies holding one of the men, American businessman Mahmoud Habibi.
Now, Ryan Corbett's been held for 886 days. His wife, Anna, tells Fox it was a frustrating call with the president, but she had a much better hour-long conversation with incoming Trump National Security Advisor Michael Waltz.
And this shows that President Trump is very concerned, is wanting to prioritize our family. I know he's tough. He wants to make deals, and I am extremely encouraged.
A setback for oil and gas companies at the Supreme Court refusing to consider their attempt to block lawsuits from local and state governments accusing the industry of contributing to climate change. America's listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
We'll have a new leader. It's 19 degrees and sunny downtown. I'm Kurt Darling. Here's what's trending at 11:02. Mike Braun is being sworn in as governor of Indiana this hour. He'll be taking the oath of office soon downtown. Braun is going to be the 52nd governor of Indiana. Micah Beckwith will also be sworn in as lieutenant governor, and Todd Rokita again as attorney general. They say it was a failed murder-suicide. A man was in a standoff with the cops on the northeast side this morning. Ryan Hedrick reports.
It was around 2 a.m. when IMPD got a call about something happening at an apartment building not far from Shadeland Avenue on the city's northeast side. It turned out that a man was holding some people inside with a gun. SWAT and a negotiator had to be called in, says IMPD's William Young.
As officers entered, they did locate the alleged suspect and a victim, both who sustained injuries consistent with a gunshot wound. That suspect, we believe, sustained injuries from a self-inflicted gunshot wound.
Young says police are still looking into this. Ryan Hedrick, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
A Texas man has been arrested for stalking Caitlin Clark. Michael Lewis is said to have sent hundreds of harassing messages to Clark on various social media apps. Court documents say that Lewis acknowledges to thinking that he was in an imaginary relationship with Clark. Republicans in the State House are adamant about figuring out property tax relief, since that is one of Mike Braun's priorities. Democrats say they're on board with that as well, but they also hope to work on making buying a house easier.
Housing costs too much, whether they're talking about rising property taxes or how difficult it is to become a first-time homeowner.
House Minority Leader Phil Giaquinta. Game day is a week from today. Notre Dame will be taking on Ohio State for the College Football Playoff National Championship. Head coach Marcus Freeman on the challenge posed by the Buckeyes.
We'll obviously have to mix some things up and come up with a great plan to try to limit what they do in the passing game. You know, you're not going to be able to stop their receivers totally. They're a talented bunch.
The Irish are 8.5-point underdogs. I'm Kurt Darling, on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
You wake up feeling like you just boxed 12 rounds. Some wake up sweating with sore jaws, headaches, and a lot of our patients complain of brain fog. I'm Dr. Madan Kandula, and these signs, often joined with snoring, are sleep apnea symptoms. And if this sounds like you may have been in a struggle last night between you and this serious disorder. Many people aren't willing to fight back. But the fact is, you can't go through these nightly struggles without ramifications that each night chip away at your life's expiration date. I get it. You don't want to wear a CPAP mask. You may find out you don't need one. We have every effective sleep apnea solution available. And believe me, the mask is the last resort.
It's time to take action to stop your sleep struggle. Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment, because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better. Results may vary. Most insurance accepted.
This hour on 93 WIBC, powered by Family Heating and Air. Nobody cares for you like family. Your American Standard Air dealer.
You're listening to Rob Kendall.
When we talk about sending money somewhere, we're talking about printing the money because we have no money.
And Casey Daniels.
My government would never lie to me, would they?
On 93 WIBC.
Good morning. It is Monday, January 13th. It is 5 minutes after 11 with Kendall and Casey on 93 WIBC. So a new era begins today as Mike Braun will take the reins from Eric Holcomb as governor and begin his administration, along with Micah Beckwith, who will serve as lieutenant governor. So this is, we're getting play-by-play from Carl, Tony Katz's producer, who is over there. And he said they're playing God Bless America. Now they're playing America the Beautiful. Oh, they came out. So this is the schedule of events. Todd Rokita is first scheduled to be sworn in by the Indiana Supreme Court.
All right, let's take a bet right now. Over under Rokita is still the attorney general by the end of the year, which means he kept his law license for the entire year.
I'm going to go over. I'm going to say, yeah, he keeps it.
Well, so this is the big debate because there's been several complaints filed against him with the disciplinary commission related to his response to the previous actions that were taken, or reprimands, or whatever you want to call it. And depending on who you talk to, there's some people, Abdul being one of them, who firmly believe that the Supreme Court could strip Rokita of his law license, which means he can't be attorney general. Now, I'm with you, Casey. I don't think that's going to happen because you would essentially be disenfranchising the vote of, millions, well over 1 million people. And so I don't think they're going to do that. I do think there's a decent chance he will face some more punishment, but we'll see. That is one of the big stories of this year is what happens with Rokita and his law license.
So after Todd Rokita is sworn in, Micah Beckwith will be sworn in as the state's new lieutenant governor. Both Rokita and Beckwith are expected to provide brief remarks about their swearing-in ceremony.
Your husband wrote the speech.
Well, he wrote the draft and then passed it on to Micah to put his own personal touches on it.
So has Jim got it down pat now? So for those of you who missed earlier in the show, Casey announced her husband, Jim, who's been filled in on this program many times, is now going to be the communications guru for Micah's office.
Yeah.
And so Jim has got to get it down where if the speech is great, it was all him. And if the speech sucks, it's because he didn't deliver it properly.
Don't be silly. If the speech is great, it was all me and my support. And if it was horrible, it was neither of us.
Yeah.
It
all
was
right.
somebody else.
So Michael go, then Braun goes.
Yep. And then Braun is sworn in last, and he's going to be sworn in on 2 Bibles, his family Bible.
For some superpower.
Right. And then one used by former President Benjamin Harrison.
So after, and they got some big reception. No, to answer, I was asked in the YouTube chat. By the way, you can watch the show on YouTube. Just put Kendall and Casey in your search bar. No, I am not going to the meet and greet at the State House, and I will tell you why I'm not doing this. It's because, 1, I did one on Saturday. I've done meeting and greeting. And 2, when I go places, it becomes about me, and that is their day. And so I'm not going to be there for that. It's Micah's time to shine, and I'm not going to hog any of the spotlight, and that's his day. I will assume he can properly, recite the oath of office and take care of it. So no, I will not be there for that. Plus, it's a very busy schedule. I keep, Casey. I got Unsolved Mystery reruns to watch and Takedown with Chris Hansen reruns to watch. But in all seriousness, after today, the fun and games are over.
Yeah.
And now you get down to the important work of governing. And there are a whole bunch of issues facing Mike Braun. And he's going to have to really... The problem Braun has, it's not a problem. It's just it's different than what Holcomb had is. The problem Braun has is he needed conservatives to get elected. Holcomb bypassed conservatives and aligned the liberal faction of the Republican Party with Democrats, and that was his coalition. So all of the initiatives from Holcomb were more government, big cost. Can you think of a time Holcomb ever did anything for the taxpayers as a collective, where the taxpayers were his signature issue?
Oh, well, I can think of a time when taxes were raised.
Right, exactly. And some select, every year for Holcomb, it seemed like, some special interest, some select group of people were the benefit of some government program at the expense of everyone else. Textbooks in the most recent legislative session were free air quote, free textbooks. Of course they're not free. Somebody's paying for it. You're paying for it. I'm paying for it. And somebody else is getting the benefit. Braun has pledged, and his coalition was based on streamlining government, limiting government, making government more efficient, and giving money back to the people that they had earned. So if he goes sideways on this, he's going to lose that coalition real quick. Now, if he delivers on it, first and foremost, the property tax issue, but there's a host of other areas, he will be like a rock star inside the Republican Party, whereas Holcomb, let's face it, outside of his little butt sniffer establishment donor lobbyist brigade that he ran around with, was persona non grata. It's why he didn't go to most of these things. It's why he didn't, go to the convention. He didn't speak at these conventions in prime time anymore because he knew what he was. He knew how reviled he was. So Braun is going to get to dictate his own course, but he's going to have to ruffle someone's feathers. He's going to have to alienate someone. Either it's going to be the donor lobbyist class, and he's going to put the people first, or he's going to not follow through on what he promised the people, and then he'll be a one-term governor. It's his choice.
This is so interesting, the messaging that is being put out throughout different parts of the state. So I'm reading this article that is put out by ABC 57 in northern Indiana, and they're saying that Braun is going to focus on creating high-wage careers and improving the cost of living and maternal health. They also say that he's going to focus on providing access to technology, which is completely different from what we've heard here in central Indiana about what his priorities can be. Nowhere in this article about his inauguration do they mention property taxes.
Yeah, and look, I mean, again, I had some chats with some of Braun's people on Saturday night, and I told him, I said, hey, so far so good, right? You've pushed the property tax issue to Senate Bill 1. Now your job is to hold the line on whatever. We still haven't seen the bill, by the way, and so who knows exactly what it'll look like. But if
didn't they say they wanted to wait until he was sworn in?
Sure. So we'll find out tomorrow or Wednesday or whatever. And now his job will be to hold the line on that. But there are individual issues, but it's a broader theme of a system of governance. How are you going to govern? And these issues will fall in line with his system of governance. If your system of governance, look, Holcomb's default was collect money, spend money, grow government, buy votes. I mean, that was the Republican Party, and that was Eric Holcomb. And quite frankly, the state has now, the Republican lawmakers have backed themselves into a corner because they've spent so much money on without long-term funding sources for these mandates they've created. They've bit themselves in the backside. Now Braun's going to go in there, and I think we'll try to clean some of this up, but it takes partners. It takes two to tango, and so the Republican Party's got a big problem in the sense of there's a big divide. There are the 30% or so that are the power structure that believe in the Holcomb way of doing business. And then there's the base and the rest of the party. And I think with Micah Beckwith being in there, you're going to see that divide continue to grow. And it'll be Braun's job to try to bridge that and bring everybody back together and get back to the way the Republican Party should be governing, a la the way they did under Mitch Daniels.
So Carl just sent us a message, and he said that Todd Rokita has been sworn in. He was the first to go, so our Attorney General remains Todd Rokita.
Well, the clock is on, right?
Yeah.
All right. So, and look, we'll keep everybody updated. Your engagement is going to be necessary. Your engagement is going to be a vital part of whatever happens this legislative session. And I would hope for the first time in a long time you feel somewhat optimistic that your engagement might make a difference. And hopefully here within a few minutes we will have shut the book on just the last horrible 8 years in this state.
It is Kendall and Casey. It's 93 WIBC.
Just minutes away.
Wind chills are dropping temperatures into the single digit
to perhaps even below zero on Tuesday night.
Your community.
14-year-old girl was shot and killed on Saturday, found lying in the snow.
Law enforcement agency to do everything that we can to hold those individuals accountable.
So far, no arrests.
Hear the news.
Notre Dame will square off against Ohio State in next Monday's national title game.
This is about this opportunity that lies right ahead of us.
93 WIBC Mobile News.
The holidays are over, and the new year is here, making it the perfect time to think about the future. More specifically, it's the perfect time to think about your financial future. Right now, Howard Bailey Financial is offering a free retirement toolkit, a comprehensive guide designed to help you plan, save, and jumpstart the retirement you deserve. To get your free copy today, text FUTURE to 888-262-1104 and download your free retirement toolkit. Start 2025 off with a gift to yourself, filled with all the tools you need to plan for a positive and purpose-filled future. Just text FUTURE to 888-262-1104 to start planning today. Make this new year your year to invest in yourself and secure a brighter tomorrow, starting today. Howard Bailey Securities, LLC is an independent financial services firm and uses a variety of different investment strategies. Please see disclosures at howardbailey.com.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $200-300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? back. If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code YEAR to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code YEAR for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code YEAR for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
Progressive presents Renter's MVP's Most Valuable Possessions. Today's MVP, Tom Kelly's carbon fiber mountain bike. Because more than riding his carbon fiber mountain bike, Tom loves telling people about his carbon fiber mountain bike. Friends, family, even a local barista knows about his carbon fiber mountain bike. And that's why Tom's carbon fiber mountain bike, if you haven't heard about it, is today's MVP. Keep your most valuable possessions protected by bundling your renters and auto insurance with Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers not available in all states.
Go where the pros go. Drexel Interiors for 1951 cabinetry. Visit Drexel's Kitchen and Bath Design Centers at 146th and River Road, North Shadeland, or drexelin.com.
Cheer up, sleepy Jean. What can it mean to a daydream?
People are getting married later in life. That's according to a new survey. The median age for first-time marriages reached 30 in 2023, and that was up from 2010. In 1950, the median age to get married for the first time was 22 years old.
How old? I feel bad. I told the audience you were 61 while you were gone.
You should feel bad.
You're not
because
actually
you lied
61.
to the audience.
Not a day over 60. But how old were you when you got married?
I was 27.
27 years old. So that would make you, oh, wow. I didn't think it was that high.
You know, my birthday's on Sunday. What are you going to get me? Something nice?
What do you
An
want?
apology?
For the past 3 years?
Right? Wrap up a nice apology in a bow. I'll take it.
You know, what's interesting to me, and I heard this a lot when I was younger, and you don't realize it until you're older, just how stupid you actually are when you're younger. Like, I mean, and I look at, so I have passed 40, and I have a young daughter, and hopefully we're blessed to have more. My wife, who has to do most of the heavy lifting, is very young, so she's in the prime of her existence, hopefully. But you know, I think so. Like a lot of people say, I'm older for a dad. Now you put our ages together, and we're about median average.
Right, you even it out.
But I think about, and I've written this to my daughter numerous times. Part of your life is realizing when you're ready for things and preparing yourself for things. And look, we always joke, I'm a slightly above average husband and a great dad. That's how I describe myself. Slightly above average husband and a great dad. And if I'd had kids in my 20s or even at 30,
you would have been too irresponsible.
I would have not been a very good dad at all. And I realize that now, that you have to go through different seasons of your life and things in your life and learn from those things and look at your own flaws. And that's part of becoming an adult and being better. And especially when you start being responsible for other people, is recognizing, hey, I didn't always do things the right way. And a big part of, you know, we talk a lot about how Life Church has had that impact on me and has helped me to see a lot of those things and see beyond yourself. And I just think, you know, I realize they're putting this out there because I think probably the target of this story is, well, people just aren't preparing for their lives the way they used to. But the reality is some people, like me, probably weren't ready
to make smart decisions and certainly not be responsible for another human being to take after them. I wonder how much finances comes into play with some of this.
Well, and that's a great point because, you know, and we've gone through this with Kev, because Kev is closing in on 30, and, you know, it's like we've diluted the buying power of younger people. Like it used to be, hey, if you were reasonably responsible with your money and you had a full-time job of any sort of means, you could live a pretty decent existence and have a few disposable shekels for your local watering hole on Fridays and Saturdays. And, you know, now it's like we did the math what was it, Friday? Maybe we did the math because we were talking about interest rates.
Yeah.
We did the math on buying a $300,000 home in central Indiana, and your monthly mortgage payment
It's over $2,000.
would be over $2,000.
Yeah.
I mean, you're talking, if you're a person making $60,000, $70,000 a year, I realize many people make a lot more than that, but some people make less. I mean, if you're a young person in your mid to late 20s, that's probably a pretty decent salary. That doesn't leave you a ton of disposable income afterwards.
No, it doesn't. And it's also hard to save up for a down payment for something like that as well. Does it ever concern you? Because I thought about this the other day because, as I mentioned, I have a birthday coming up, and I thought, wow, Rob is going to be older than me even when his daughter graduates high school.
Oh, totally. So, my wife and I have obviously talked about this. We'd like to have more children if we're blessed when the time is right. And, the onus is, one of the things we've talked about is like, I don't do near the stuff I used to do in my 20s and 30s because I recognize, hey, I got to try to be around for all of this, right? And I will be an older parent. Again, it's very helpful that my wife, who I have no idea why she decided to start a life with me, but she did, is much younger. And I always tell her, I'm like, you let me know where you want me to leave everything when it's my time to go. But it is cross my mind. I also think people live a different I think people live differently now, though, and we interpret age differently. So, for example, I can vividly remember my grandfather's 70th birthday.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why I vividly remember this.
But 70 probably seemed really old.
Oh, it's like this guy's got 1 foot in a grave and 1 foot in a banana peel.
Mm-hmm.
And then my grandfather lived more than 20 more years, most of them at a very high level. And I think about people from my parents' generation as they're closing in on that number. They don't seem old at all,
right?
To me, like they just largely still seem like my parents. And I think people live differently. I think age is perceived differently. And here's what I know: my age is only a number to me because my kids will always have a roof over their head. They'll always have food on their table. I will always be actively, every single day when my daughter gets off daycare, we spend an hour reading and playing and actively. I think you're only too old if you're not capable of being involved in your kids' existence.
Yeah. So it is residents of D.C., New York, and California who are marrying at the oldest of ages, and then Utah, Idaho, and West Virginia are marrying at the youngest of ages.
What were the 3 states that were the oldest?
D.C., New York, and California.
And I think that's because those tend to be people who get. I'm painting everybody with a broad brush here, but career-oriented people, and this would be the thing that I would advise to younger people. And it took me a long time to learn this because I was a very career-obsessed person. Tried to be the best at making no money as any person ever was my goal. Your career will never love you back. Your career will turn on you at a moment's notice if it suits the people around you. And you should view your career as nothing other than a vessel to make lives better for the people that you love and care about. And your onus, your focus should 100% be on finding those people and then having a career that fits in around that.
The average age for people to get married in the great state of Indiana, 28.2 years old.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Kev, you're right in that ballpark. Congratulations.
Yeah, I'm close.
It's time.
Congratulations.
It's time. Did you see that NFL ratings are down year over year? This surprised me. An average of 17.5 million viewers per game across all networks. It was a 2.2% decrease from last year. So not a huge decrease, but yet still it's on its way down. And we talk all the time about television, especially local TV. It's news and sports are why reasons people tune in to TV. But has the NFL reached critical mass?
Well,
are there, unless they're going to go global.
Now, what day was this article written? Does it say? Does it give you a date?
Let me get to the top of it, and I will find it for you. It's January 10th.
Okay, so this was pre-playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to see the playoffs started this weekend. We'll see how they do compared to the playoffs last year. I think there's a couple things at play. One, college football and the playoffs was a part of this equation. So people were getting their football fix. Now, the college football playoffs deliberately tried to avoid NFL games, but I think you kind of flooded the market. You've been dealing recently with election coverage. Election people are, consumed by that. You've had, and then quite frankly, like any sports dynasty, there becomes fatigue. I also think they have legislated violence out of the game to the point where there's not the deep-seated. Let's face it, a lot of people watch the NFL because they want to watch some dude get laid out.
Mm-hmm.
They want to watch the glorified, legalized violence, and they have, to a great extent, legislated that out of the game of football. So I think there's a bunch of things at play. But here's what matters most now in the world in which we live, is that your streaming companies are willing to pay a massive premium, because even a dip in numbers for the National Football League is going to be infinitely more than they're getting on an average Sunday afternoon or Thursday evening. And so what you're seeing, and you're seeing this with like WWE's Raw. So I saw the number for Monday Night Raw, which is the staple program for World Wrestling Entertainment, which now has gone to Netflix after 30 plus years on cable television, drew like 2.6 million viewers. And I was chuckling because in the heyday of professional wrestling in the late 90s and early 2000s, they were doing collectively between the two groups, WCW and WWF, they were doing over 10 million people. And you hear now all the time about pro wrestling. There's a fraction. Hammer and I spar on this all the time because it's Cirque du Soleil, it's Disney on Ice. They've made a joke out of it. There's never been fewer people watching professional wrestling than are watching pro wrestling right now. But if you're Netflix and you say, I can get 2.6 million dedicated booger-eating eyeballs on my product every Monday night in the subscription game that I'm in.
Those were viewers they didn't have before.
Right, and all the people that are watching are hardcore people.
Yeah.
It's all hardcore, dedicated people. And what you're going to pay to do that, when you compare that, it's every week. It's 52 weeks a year. What you're going to pay for the new hit streaming show or whatever, it's worth it to do. And the NFL is, I think they are becoming that way. Thursday night is Amazon Prime. You've got the one of the playoffs game was Amazon Prime.
Right. Well, and that's just it. I think, fans have to subscribe to these streaming services.
Yep.
And it's split up. You've got games on Amazon and ESPN and Fox and NBC and Netflix and CBS.
Yep.
So where do I go to see the game tonight?
Well, and you're seeing, and a lot of people are bitching about this, about, these games should be on free network television. The business model is no longer working for free over-the-air television for these behemoths, because the numbers are going down, and I think they're going to continue to go down. I think the NFL has peaked in terms of its popularity, and you're seeing that play out. But it's still so big. But if you're CBS and you've got, billions of dollars in ads you have to sell just to break even, that business model, the price to play, doesn't work. But if you're Amazon Prime or your Netflix or your Peacock and you're a subscription-based service where ads are part of it, but people are also paying on top of it, that is a business model that might still actually work. And thus the NFL, look, you're kidding yourself. They're always going to go where the money is. They don't care. The NFL cares about you as a fan to the extent of how much money will you spend with us. They don't actually care about the fan experience. They don't care about you being able to view the product. They care about money, and so they care about you in the confines of that. But that's where we're going. That's where you're going with everything, because the business model dictates that's where the money's going to be at.
So CBS didn't release their end of season ratings, but one of their largest audiences was for the November 17th Chiefs and Bills game. They had 31.1 million.
And
viewers.
why was that? Because the two best quarterbacks were playing in that game, Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes, on two of the best teams. I think you're going to see big ratings this weekend because you're going to have the Bills and the Ravens are going to play, and that's Lamar and that's Josh Allen, and that's arguably two of the three best quarterbacks. So you'll have, it's stories. Everything is still story-driven. NFL is still episodic television the same way as anything else. And when you get the stars and you get the stories, people will watch. When you don't, they won't.
It is Kendall and Casey. It's 93 WIBC.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Swearing in new leaders. I'm Kirk Darling. Here's what's trending at 11:30. Attorney General Todd Rokita taking the oath of office for that position again this hour.
I want to first thank God for giving me this opportunity to serve this state with the gifts he gave me. I thank my wife, Kathy, and our sons.
Mike Braun will be sworn in as governor as well, along with his running mate Micah Beckwith as lieutenant governor. Wildfires continue to burn in Southern California with dangerous winds in the forecast. 24 people are dead, with Governor Gavin Newsom saying that there will likely be more. The Palisades, Eaton, and Hearst fires have been burning for the last 6 days. It appears fewer children are getting vaccinated throughout the United States. Centers for Disease Control data shows that less than 93% of kindergartners last year got vaccinated for measles. I'm Kurt Darling, on the level, on the go, and on WYBC.com.
Hey guys, it's Rob for Life Church. And Life Church is in the middle of their 21 days of prayer, because prayer is powerful and prayer works. And so the way it works is every weeknight, Monday through Friday, 6:30 p.m. at all 4 of their campuses, Noblesville, Fishers, Eagle Creek, and Pendleton. You can just show up and someone will pray for you, or you can let them know who you'd like them to pray for. No commitment, no strings attached, no obligation. You just show up, you pray, you get prayed for. Life Church has had such a great impact on my life and my family's life. We love them so much. Learn more about everything on the web at lifechurchin.com. Are you thinking this year I want to look and feel better and get my hair back? We Grow Hair Indy can help you do just that. I'm Rob, and I got my hair back at We Grow Hair Indy. Here's Darren Andrews, clinic director, to tell you why I chose them.
For nearly 20 years, we've helped thousands of clients grow their hair back, and we can help you. We're one of only 2 places in the entire country to offer the Artist Robotic FUE and multi-unit hair grafting.
I got multi-unit hair grafting. I love the results and cannot believe how much hair I got back. I can't recommend them enough. Call right now, 317-522-2995 for a free evaluation. Great technology, great company, great people, great results. Go to WeGrowHairIndy.com, see my results, and call 317-522-2995. 317-522-2995. Don't you want to say, I got my hair back?
As an IT professional who handles e-waste, you have the opportunity to guarantee your data security, receive 100% landfill-free disposal, and have peace of mind with R2V3, RIOS, and NAID certifications. Technology Recyclers provides guaranteed data destruction, 100% landfill-free disposal, and the certification to back it up. Protect your data while saving the planet. Businesses receive free pickup of your e-waste from Technology Recyclers. Visit tech-recyclers.com. That's tech-recyclers.com.
Hey, can you blow up some balloons for Jack's party?
I can't. I'm so congested.
You need Sinex Saline from Vicks.
Sinex Saline Nasal Spray?
Yeah, just Sinex. Breathe.
Sinex Saline instantly clears everyday congestion associated with colds and year-round allergies with a gentle, ultra-fine mist that's no mess and easy to control.
Daddy, we need more balloons.
On it! Enjoy life's important moments without congestion. Try Sinex Saline from Vicks. Just Sinex. Breathe. Use as directed.
Planes, trains, automobiles, and motorcycles. If you've spent a lot of time working or playing around loud vehicles, you may have trouble hearing on the telephone. Get back in gear with Relay Indiana, providing telephone accessibility to the hard of hearing. Relay Indiana allows hearing-impaired callers to have normal phone conversations through voice recognition technology. And there's loaned equipment for those who qualify. Add clarity back in your phone conversations. Get the CapTel captioned telephone from Relay Indiana. Visit RelayIndiana.com.
Healthcare.gov has plans for health because you have plans for life. All plans cover doctor visits and emergency care to keep you and your family running strong. All plans cover hospital stays and prescriptions so you can have peace of mind. Visit healthcare.gov to explore health plans from the brands you know. 4 out of 5 customers can find a health plan for $10 or less per month with financial help. Healthcare.gov is here for you. Final deadline to enroll is January 15th. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Feeling the aches and pains of everyday life slowing you down? Introducing Blue Emu, America's #1 emu oil formula for pain relief. In a recent clinical trial, 91% of users saw improvement after using Blue Emu. Whether you're working hard, playing harder, or just staying active, Blue Emu penetrates deep to relieve joint and muscle pain fast. And best of all, you won't stink. Join the 91% who felt the difference. Find Blue Emu at your local retailer or online. Blue Emu works fast and you won't stink.
Any heating and air conditioning problem you've got, we can take care of you. 317-577-8077.
Family Heating and Air is your trusted local independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
You're listening to the Kendall and Casey Show on 93 WIPC.
We got to give credit to Carl.
I know.
He's been texting us the play-by-play of the inauguration.
He has. He said when Rokita was sworn in that Rokita said his office would not be beholden to DEI, CRT, or ESG. It was a very political speech. And then he said that Micah was sworn in and there was a lot of applause and hoots and hollerins. And Micah was quoting the Bible and referencing George Washington as a man of faith. And Rokita made an anti-woke rant while Micah talked about blessings from God. And then Mike Braun was sworn in, and the Holcomb administration is officially over.
You ever see people on TV that you know, and you're like, oh, hey, there's like, why would I care that they're on TV, but I do care? Do you ever do that? Like where you see someone you know on TV, clearly you know that person, you engage with them in conversation all the time.
You're impressed that they're on television?
But they're on television?
Yeah, who are you talking about?
Well, I see Mike over Braun Show, and there's Susan sitting next to him.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, oh, there's, oh man, Micah's on TV. And it's like, well, why would
That guy gave me a sweater.
Why would I? Yeah, I'm wearing his sweater, right? Why would I even care? But it's like, oh, he's on television. You ever do that?
No.
Really?
No.
How about you, Kev? You ever do that? You see somebody you know? I mean, you're in this business.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, actually, there's been times where I've seen Abdul.
Yeah,
on
like,
the
see, we
news.
know him.
Yeah.
We know him. Of course we know him. Like, we just hung out with him the other night. We sat next to him.
Right? Yeah.
Well, good.
They look the same on TV as in person.
Well, it is. It's like, oh my gosh, they're on television. Well,
Yeah.
no kidding, Rob.
So Braun, he said, a path not taken is a path to be pursued. He also made reference.
What did he say?
Path not taken is a path to be pursued.
Oh.
And he made reference to the transition in Washington, D.C. Of course, he's talking about Donald Trump. And he also said that he is pro-small business and not for the status quo.
Here's what I want. I want you to be pro-taxpayer. All the taxpayers. I don't want you to be pro this group or pro that group. All I want you to be is pro taxpayer. That's it, period.
According to Carl, and what he is texting us, he said, just talked about pushing back property taxes to where it needs to
There
be.
you go.
And there was a loud hoot in support from
There
the
you
crowd.
go. Boom. See, that's my point. That's something you can do that helps every single taxpayer. You don't have to help a little pocket of people. You don't have to carve out a special interest. Boom. Of the 4 million plus people who own homes in this state, you can help them, or 3 million or whatever the number is, instantaneously. No special treatment needed. Everybody's treated the same. That's what I'm talking about right there.
So there's a ceremony that's taking place after they're all sworn in, right? And
I am not going, for those of you who have asked, I am not going to be there, and I've told you why, because this is Micah's day, and I show up, and then it'll be about me, and it's his day. So no, I will not be there. I'm going to Arby's.
It seems to me that it's going to be winding down here soon because this after ceremony is from 1 until 3 at the State House.
Casey, I'm going to start.
You're going to celebrate the end of the Holcomb administration with a regular roast beef sandwich and
here's
some
the deal.
Arby's sauce.
I'm starting a fast tomorrow. I've done 2 24-hour fasts for the 21 Days of Prayer for Life Church. And then Nathan kind of challenged me to go above and beyond that. So starting tomorrow, I'm going to start a fast. It could go up to 7 days. I don't think I will make it 7 days. How long do you think I'm going to make it?
Well, boy, is that with or without an attitude?
Oh, no, it'll be with the attitude. No, I'm going to be, you're going to get the brunt of all of this.
Let's see. Nathan did 21 days. Micah said that he lasted 7 days. I think you'll probably last 5 days. I'm going to give you to the end of the week.
You think I can go 5 days?
Yeah, and you know what?
Wow,
He gave me a tip for this. He said to make sure you got enough electrolytes in your body, drink coconut water.
Coconut water?
Yeah.
I'd rather just die. All right, so
we can arrange that.
So I think it's going to start tomorrow. That's in between all the football.
You're listening to Kendall and Casey on 93 WIBC.
Hammer and Nigel show, 3 o'clock this afternoon. The biggest stories in Indy. Monday Gun Day with Guy Relford. And we're going to have a lot of fun. Jeff Boggs is in for Nigel, 93 WIBC.
Hi, this is Denny Smith for Zero Res, and here's some really great news. Zero Res has gone flat out for the new year with their biggest and best sale of the year at 24% off all their services. All I can say is wow. Zero Res techs do it all when it comes to cleaning, and not just carpets, but also tile and rugs and upholstery, and literally every surface in your home can be Zero Resified, including your air ducts. It really is the best time of year to call the cleaning pros at Zero Res, and they're sure doing their part with this 24% off all their great cleaning services. And with their Gotta Love It guarantee, they're going to make sure your investment with them is a great experience that you'll never, ever regret. There's nobody better at cleaning than Zero Res. The Zero Res service is easy to line up, and you can go online at ZeroResIndy.com to do the scheduling at your convenience. Just call them and mention WIBC. It's Zero Res. Call 317-388-5141 or book things online at ZeroResIndy.com. That's ZeroResIndy.com.
If you want to sell your home soon or immediately after the holidays, now is the time to get the process started. Get your home sold fast, easy, at top dollar, and guaranteed with the agent, Mark Dietel. Perhaps you're worried about costly repairs or upgrades needed to sell your home. Mark Dietel is the only real estate expert to trust and recommend with the sale of your home. Mark Dietel guarantees your home sold at a mutually agreed upon price and deadline, or he will buy it. Pick your move date. There are no long-term contracts, and you can cancel at any time. Check out what Tim and Becky in Bargersville had to say. We were ready to downsize, but we wanted easy, so we hired an instant offer company. Big mistake. The company canceled a week before closing, but it was a blessing in disguise. We then called Mark Dietel, and we ended up selling in 4 days for more money than the instant offer. Call the local Indianapolis agent we trust and recommend, and the agent who guarantees your home sold, or he'll buy it. Call Mark Dietel at 317-755-4232 for all the details, or go online to markdietel.com. That's Mark Dietel, DIETEL.com.
Many times, patients have symptoms they didn't know were actually related to their airway breathing issues.
I was suffering from sinus issues, jaw issues, and neck pain. I guess I just kind of had my breaking point.
Unfortunately, this is typical. But until you get to the root of your problem, it's going to just persist. Fortunately, Jody took action, and the results were typical as well.
My quality of life is so different. But one of the first things that I noticed was my breathing. I don't ever remember being able to breathe like that.
Being able to breathe freely is life-changing, and the effects can go beyond that.
Sleeping better, having more energy, and it seemed as if all of those symptoms that I had just melted away.
And thank heavens for that, because at Advent, results are what drive us, helping you breathe well so you can live better.
Results may vary. Most insurance accepted.
Nobody cares for you like family. Family Heating and Air.
We set out to be the very best of the best, and past couple years we've actually achieved that. For all of the state of Indiana, we've been awarded the Dealer of the Year award twice now. Unlike other brands, that only gets handed to one dealer every year, and we're very proud to have won that twice.
Put the best to work for you at FamilyHVAC.net. Family Heating and Air is your trusted local independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
Hammer and Nigel here. It's a new year. Time to keep that promise of getting your testosterone levels checked. Lacking energy, muscle mass, or have low libido? Could be low T. Testosterone therapy, or TRT, may be the answer. Nobody matches the experts at Low T Center. And don't settle for a standard dosage TRT plan.
For current patients, Low T Center offers $150 referral credits when you refer a new patient. LowTCenter.com to book that appointment right now. Low T Center, reinventing men's healthcare.
I've just been feeling so sluggish lately. You should try the Metamucil 2-Week Challenge. The Metamucil 2-Week Challenge? Yeah, Metamucil 4-in-1 Fiber helps trap and remove the waste that weighs you down. Start your daily routine now, and in 2 weeks, you could be feeling great. Well, it's been 2 weeks. How you feeling? Lighter and feeling great.
If you want to feel lighter by promoting digestive health, sign up to take the 2-week challenge at Metamucil.com. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Never miss your favorite shows on WIBC. Get your content to go. Would you like fries with that? Tony Katz, Kendall and Casey, Hammer and Nigel, Tony Kennett, The Gun Guy, Home and Garden. Subscribe wherever you get your podcasts.
Put on your best dress, baby, and darling, fix your hair up right, 'cause there's a party, honey.
So this was odd.
I got this note.
Well, it's Kendall Casey show, by the way. I'm Rob. That's Casey. You and I, everybody should know by now I do not open the mail.
Right.
Unless I know the sender or if it's something that came from, say, Amazon. Amazon's got a pretty good ability to not send you a nuclear device of some sort.
You think? At least that's what we're banking on that.
So there are a couple things that I have told people, and it was like that thing with the Braun Ball we went to. I was sitting at a table afterwards. I had some good friends that I saw out in the lobby, and we were sitting there, and they had I'm guessing several glasses of wine at this point.
Nice.
And so I'm sitting there with them, and somebody who I would describe this person as a frenemy walks by and goes 6 glasses of wine. I said, brother, I ain't going down on a DUI. Y'all are going to have to work a lot harder than that to take me down. If you're gonna take me down, you're gonna earn it. Yeah, these are not mine. But the same thing is true. If you're gonna send me something, you're not gonna get me sending something through the mail. You're gonna get Casey. You're gonna take Casey down, but you're not gonna get me. Like, you're gonna have to work really hard. To rid yourself of me. However, we both got the same package. This is very weird.
Okay.
I have not opened it.
Well, now you know what it is.
Well, now I know what it is. I'm not going to open it. I'll have you open it. But you did open it.
I did. And I got to know.
Aren't you ever weird about opening things strangers send you in the mail? And sending things strangers send me in the mail?
I don't know. You're making me paranoid. Maybe I should be more concerned.
For several years now. I mean, you've never once hesitated. I'm just like, here, please open this.
Nothing's happened.
No.
I'll just go wash my hands.
It's when you least expect it.
Right? I'll be okay. And get some hardcore antibiotics and I'll be fine.
So you did open this package.
Yeah. And I've got a note. Mine says, Casey, thank you for putting up with Rob.
Oh, yes. Very good.
You've added great things to the show. I hope my music will entertain you as well as you have entertained me. Thank you, Jay Scott. And
Jay Scott, that's his name, or do we think that's like an assumed name, or what are we doing with that?
We're assuming it's a man. It could be a woman. I don't know.
That's true.
Because we can't hear it. And the package contained a CD.
Oh, a compact disc.
Correct. And it's titled Reap What You Sow, which is perhaps a message to both of us.
My life story.
Yeah, and it's from Jay Scott. Jay Scott is a vocalist, lead, and rhythm guitar.
Oh.
I believe it's an entire band. But
is that like the Jay Giles band, except it's the Jay Scott band? Yes, that's correct.
Potentially. But it's a CD.
Oh.
And I thought, you know what? We should totally preview this.
Right.
And I handed it to you to put it into the CD player. And that's where the problem occurred.
Yes.
Because we have no CD player.
Yeah, we got all sorts of stuff in here, but no, I mean, stuff from the 70s.
I see a reel-to-reel machine.
Stuff from the 80s.
And a mini disc player.
But I don't see
cassette deck.
Now, the thing is, we're in the little
even a turntable.
We're in a different studio than the main studio. The main studio might have one. This is like an old abandoned. You know how you hear the phrase "old abandoned mine shaft."
That's where we are.
The studio we're in right now is the equivalent of an old radio mine shaft. He's never here anymore, but the guy that does all of our like imaging for Sean Matthews, who does all the imaging for the radio station. This used to be his studio, and then, like, during COVID or something, he just stopped coming into work.
Yeah.
He pulled a Tony Katz. And so there was this big studio. And when the fan came down to our floor, the fan knuckleheads.
Yeah, they invaded our old production studio.
And so they said, well, this guy is never here, so go ahead and use this one. And then there's all sorts of there's mini discs. For those of you, that's an insider radio term. Those were big in like the 90s.
Yeah.
There's mini discs laying all over the place. There's a cassette tape thing here. There's a record player that has just layers of dust like it was discovered in an Indiana Jones movie. There's a reel-to-reel player up there. You remember those?
Oh, yeah.
You have those in the 50s?
Yeah.
But there's no CD player that you or I are aware of.
Well, and I thought maybe we could just put this into the computer.
I'm not touching the computer.
And pull it up there.
Could blow up.
Well, we don't even know where
that's true.
Hard drive is.
There's like seven
buried down by
computers.
your knees or something?
Yes, and probably environmental activists will be very mad. They're all appear to be on and burning electricity.
I feel like we're on a scavenger hunt in here. You never know what you're going to find. I mean, look, there's still awards in here. Like, Sean left and doesn't come in anymore, and he left all of his awards here.
Yeah, you keep filibustering here.
What is that? I see it. It says WIBC on it. Yeah, what is that?
It's a Marconi.
He left a Marconi.
He left his Marconi. Sean Matthews, Casey will verify this. I am holding up this Marconi. It is Marconi Award winner 2005 News Talk Station of the Year. This is for WIBC.
Decade old.
And so I'm guessing what this is they gave one the Smolian, who owned the place at the time, probably had these made for everybody.
That's not the original Marconi.
No, that's probably out in the lobby. All the Marconis are out in the lobby, but this is, there's Mr. Marconi's, old picture there.
Clearly, it didn't mean very much to
Do you think
him
if I took it home?
Just abandon it.
What if I just crossed his name out?
Etch his name out of the glass?
Yeah.
Scratch your name in?
I'll just take a piece of tape or something.
Yeah. You should totally
What
do
else is
that.
you
can tell
filibuster
everybody
for a
you want a big award there. I mean, what's that big one that looks like a triangle right next to you? What is that one?
Spectrum Award.
Oh, that's the award we were denied.
Yeah, there's several.
So there has been a Spectrum Award winner at WIBC, not named Kendall and Casey.
Look, not to condemn the people that are the Spectrum people. I'm sure they're all very nice, but look at the quality of these trophies compared to the ones they handed out when we went.
Yeah.
I mean, these are like national championship football trophies there.
It does look like that, doesn't it?
And I don't know.
It's amazing.
I don't know.
You really injure somebody with one of these awards. It's like heavy glass.
Yeah, and clearly these mean nothing to anyone because they've just been sitting in here.
Right.
And it's not like Sean Matthews is still with us. He comes to the all-staff meetings. I see him every so often.
But he works from home.
Right, but he's here. It's not like he's taking them home with him. It's not like if I had a Spectrum, I would put it on full display like the Kaufman Diamond or something.
Yeah.
And Sean Matthews is clearly. I'm going to ask him next time I see him. May I have your Marconi?
It clearly means nothing to you. But what does that say about the technology used in here when you can't even find a CD player?
Oh, this place is. I think we've documented this. They will not buy us new headphones. They flat out there are probably 20 pairs of headphones. They've all, and this happens to headphones because they're wires and you're moving them around, and over time they short out or whatever. It's nobody's fault. That's just what happens. But they refuse, and they've been very vocal about this.
Yeah.
They refuse to
buy you headphones,
replace us, anybody.
Yeah.
So if you come in here, we no longer have headphones to give to guests because they've just all shorted out and they will not buy us headphones.
See, now you and I disagree on this because you believe that it's the company's responsibility to supply you with headphones.
No. Well, yes, in the sense of, I mean, let's face it, it's not like we're running a thing where there's some robust 401k program here, right? I mean, there's not like some huge benefit. My point is, when we have a guest on, what are we supposed to say? Hey, make sure to bring your own headphones?
Oh, sure. To somebody who's not in the radio business, why would they have headphones?
Right, exactly.
Gotcha.
So I have a pair of headphones that I have acquired. They date back to when the women were still here. So when the women left, they had a huge podcasting kit that they were doing
they left
here.
it?
And they were just like, we don't want this.
It to you?
You may have this. And I was like, those headphones. And I sold the mixer board later.
Okay.
It was a nice,
nice.
remote mixer.
Yeah.
Because I have one at home. However, those headphones, those are great headphones. Now, here's the thing. And I'm not saying anybody did anything nefarious, and then I know we got to go. But I had 2 sets of those headphones. And then all of a sudden, I had 1 set of those headphones. And Abdul ended up using a pair of headphones that looked just like that.
Huh. Interesting. You should mark them.
Those were my headphones because they were given to me by the women when they left. So I'm not saying anybody did anything nefarious. So, yes, if you plan on being a guest on our show and you want headphones, you have to bring your own headphones.
It's like
bring your own earbuds.
It's like a chef. You got to bring your own knives. If you're an artist, your own paintbrushes.
I'm sure we're going to get a heavy reprimand from upper management now. So go ahead and send us out as we.
Well, thank you, Jay Scott, for the CD.
Are you going to listen to that on your way home, by the way?
You can't play.
You got a CD player in your car?
I don't know. I've never played a CD in my car.
Well, I've got one in my car because, of course, I barely have electricity
I'm sure it's
in my car.
fantastic music, and we appreciate the thought. Thank you, Rob. Thank you, Kevin. Thank you for listening today. This has been Kendall and Casey on 93 WIBC.
If we are truly the racing capital of the world, we want our audience to be more reflective of the world around us. And Radio 1 has been a great partner in helping us do that.
How can a partnership with WIBC serve your business?
I'm Michael Kaltenmark, Senior Director of Marketing for the Indianapolis Motor Speedway and proud partner and client of Radio 1.
Diversity.
Radio 1's diverse reach not only allows us to get our message in front of a diverse audience, but then also gets those folks interested as we look to invite more diverse audiences to the track to join us, to let them know that the Speedway is open to them and that they're welcome there. And they've been a strategic partner in helping us achieve that goal.
Deliver your message to the audience that matters.
We've been able to attract an even larger audience and fill the Speedway with more people because of our partnership with with Radio 1.
Text business to 71007 to take your advertising to the next level.
Radio 1's right there with us in the trenches.
Get results with WIBC.
If you have chronic joint pain in your knees, hips, or shoulders, who can you turn to? How about real people with pain just like yours who discovered QC Kinetics?
Came to QC Kinetics. I had a lot of issues with my shoulders and neck. I am excited at the progress, being able to throw footballs with the grandkids.
My name is Jake. Was skeptical at first, but now after my procedures, I'm almost 100%.
Tens of thousands of patients are pain-free again with no surgery, no drugs, and no downtime, thanks to a groundbreaking regenerative therapy that uses your body's own healing agents to revitalize damaged tissue. For a free consultation, call 463-292-1742.
I'm able to do the things that I wasn't able to do for a long time.
I have absolutely no pain. The whole process is just fantastic.
I'm feeling on top of the world because of QC Kinetics.
Find out if you're a candidate for regenerative therapy today. For a free consultation, call 463-292-1742. 463-292-1742.
The new year is here. Time for change. Start a recession-resistant new career in the high-demand fields of IT, cybersecurity, and AI with My Computer Career in just months. Already in IT? Build your cybersecurity skills and prep for thousands of open positions employers nationwide are desperate to fill. Attend classes live online or on campus. Make this your year. Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation today. That's mycomputercareer.edu. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including the GI Bill.
It's cold in Indy, but the Pacers are heating up.
Employee number 0, the floater from the foul line with 1 and 6/10 seconds to play. Halliburton with a chance to make it a 3-point game.
Be here Tuesday when the Pacers play the top team in the Eastern Conference, the Cleveland Cavaliers.
Pick and roll, Turner to the goal, 2-hand slam.
It will definitely be hot inside Gainbridge Fieldhouse when the Pacers and Cavaliers collide on Tuesday night. Get your tickets at Pacers.com. Pacers, Cavaliers, Tuesday at 7.
You okay?
I can't sleep with this cough.
Sounds like you need to vaporize that cold.
Vaporize?
Yeah, with NyQuil VapoCool. It's NyQuil plus a rush of Vicks vapors.
Whoa.